Well, salutations, Senior Duck. How is life treating you? It has been over a week, since I have gotten that sound effect off of the mighty Dave, the great Gwudja, but unfortunately, I still haven't managed to set it up for when you come in for that to be your sound. So we'll end up getting that true eventually. And my dad a cuppa, nothing like a cup of tea. I understand it, so no bother, and I'll chat you when you come back. I'm not sure I have it, so I might need you to send that one on to me again, Duck. I'll check and see, because did you send it to me personally? Yeah, you might have to send that one on to me again, unfortunately, Duck. And then I'll set that up. Oh, it would help if I actually clicked the unmute button. No, now my audio is working. Nice to end up checking that one. You know, an intelligent person would end up making sure that all of this was correct straight away, but what can you really do about it? Did I mute something else that I wasn't meant to? No, everything seems to be fine. Weird. Anyway, what I was saying is last time in the Super Cup, we ended up losing to Atletico Madrid, who ended up going on to end up losing to Barcelona. After that, we had a round of really good performances. We desecrated Galatasaray. And we will continue to go on from there. We have Atletico Madrid again, this time in the actual Spanish Cup, the more important of the two cups. Barcelona are in this one as well, against Vigo. Bilbao, the only team against a division lower to the side. And we have the third best team, if you count us as the second or the first. The third best team in Spain. Now, Barcelona or Atletico Madrid have, unfortunately, managed to wallop our ass on a couple of occasions. So, yeah, let's see how that ends up going. But it is what we're going to end up setting ourselves up for. Let's start to set up the squad for this and how it is recommended. They'll probably recommend us to go back with Jason, which is probably the smart thing to do, yeah. Considering the morale is high and he is our best goalkeeper. It probably is the thing to do. Interesting that they want to put Burke or Militao into the middle instead of Burke. Burke, who was signed for that position explicitly. I mean, it does make the most amount of sense at that particular point in time because it makes Burke into a position of being strong. Perfect. Thank you so much, Duck. I will look to actually bothering to do that. It's just been a situation of me not getting into the actual rings of StreamerBot again to set it up. I need to, make the algorithmic connection and to make sure that everything is sound and put it together. I just haven't managed to do that yet because I am a simpleton. But I will make sure to do that soon. Okay. Anyway. The squad that is recommended is Wayne, Camavinga, Ard, Lee, Foston. Whereas I was thinking about going with this, which is Wayne has a weapon, absolute weapon of a shot. That tends to end up working for us. Oscar has been performing particularly well for us recently, and Stefan is tired. That might mean that it is probably better to go Ard Guller up there like it recommends and put Foston in. And then have him on the bench there. Now, Gale being injured with full rehabilitation in 2 days, I don't want to risk him. I know you can play them when they're like that, but I hate it. It just leaves me with a bad feeling even contemplating doing it, to be honest. So we will take Gale off. We'll go with this at the moment. Enric is our positioning up front. Enric has 16 goals and 5 assists so far this season, whereas Marco has 11 and 3. So I think we go with this. And I think we stick with our gut and we use the Cop goalkeeper in this position. So this is the squad we're probably going to go with. But with all of that being said, and, ignoring everything else, it has been quite a while since I've been on with you. It has been since Thursday of last week, almost 7 days, and I haven't gotten to turn around and say how everyone is doing. So Duck, my good friend, how is life treating you? Did Paddy's Day treat you sound? Did the weekend festivities get you in any surprising manner, or was it all just an enjoyable time for yourself? As for me, I managed to have a completely dry Paddy's weekend, which was nice, to be honest. It led to no surprises of any description, which was nice, to be honest. But I will admit, I kind of was craving a pint. I will say I drank plenty of tea over the last wee bit, and especially when you end up seeing people having hot whiskies, damn, makes you want. But a good old time was had, good old experience, gotten into 2 parades, if you believe that, and just enjoyed the festivities of all that. But what about yourself, Duck? How did your Paddy's Day end up going? Did you do anything? Did you, I am decent, not different happened. I say. Nothing wrong with that, no. Of course, you're there being a nice, gently person, making your father a cup of tea as well. Although you just said cuppa, so it could be a cup of coffee or a cup of joe or a cup of whiskey for all I know. I'm just taking the assumption that a cuppa is a cup of tea. How do you find the way I say tea, by the way? Do you mind it? Does it put you up the wall? Some people get bonkeredly annoying with the way I say tea. For some reason. People are weird. That would have been awesome if that led to an own goal. They have a slightly injured Yuri and Timber, so that hopefully should make their defensive line a wee bit easier. Yay, Oscar! I'm so happy I played you, my boy. Oscar doing a fantastic goal for us, leading things up as, all is going well. And nothing can end up being wrong about anything there. Oscar having a fantastic display of himself there, showcasing brilliance to the extreme, showcasing brilliance just like our one and only, our wonderful Barry's tea up there in the corner. Good old time to end up having a good old drink. But I don't want to start a civil war here in Ireland, so I'll go back to the original image of myself, my beautiful face, and, we'll let it go like that. Do you have a brand of tea you particularly like yourself, Duck? I actually don't. I'll drink anything, to be honest. I joke about the Barrys versus Lions, but I don't actually have a favourite tea. I'm more of a coffee person. Skull! What's a crack-a-lackin' with you, my good friend? How is life treating you? How did the mighty weekend end up going for you? Was it a good old time? Did you get up to much? Did you end up seeing any festivities for it? Go to a parade, enjoy a couple of beverages? I recently found out that there is a word for the wholly act of drinking alcohol known as libation. So did you manage to have any libations over the weekend? How was all that ended up going? What was the crack? Ara now. There is only one way to say scone. There is only one way to say scone, and if you say it any other way, you're incorrect. You're a foolish fool if you say it any other way than scone. Well, there's nothing wrong with having a few. There's nothing wrong with having a few too much, so long as those few too much ended up leading to a good old time. By the way, Duck, did I say it the way you pronounce it, or the way that would have annoyed you when you were young? I'd let it go, you poor bastards. Also, number 9, Enric, you should have been there. You should have been running like the gills for that ball. And what type of beverages were you going for this weekend, Skull? Was it a nice old Guinness, or were you going for one of your own variety? Something you enjoyed yourself? No bother. I look forward to that one. Bollocks! I knew there was going to be a goal the minute that cross went through. I don't know if I can blame that on Aaron. I think we kind of can. He should have had a better coverage of that. We can definitely blame it on the defense. I don't know what the hell Burke was doing that far out. But at the same point in time, I knew the minute that cross was put through by Bujani that Samu was going to score it. That's really annoying. Thank God that was offside, because Aaron did not have that covered. Warren? Why do I keep calling Warren Wayne? Anyway, Enric to Ard. Absolutely crap by Ard Guller. I know it was reflected out for a corner, but you need to be doing better than that. Oh, I know. You have to go. You have to go for the Irish milk. You have to go for the closest thing to holy water this side of the Shannon. Yeah, nice old pint of Guinness now. Nothing like it. I was mentioning it there, Doc. I don't know if you ended up hearing the tail end of it. I managed to have a dry St. Patrick's Day, if you believe it. Although, I will say, the temptation almost came over me. I did have a Guinness Zero, mind you, which is actually a nice pint. I managed to find a spot that had it on draft, which was my first time actually drinking it on draft and not it being poured through one of those NitroSurge tanks. But yeah, no, there's a nice stout, a nice Guinness it calms the moods, it makes you feel all good. Because of the fitness, I'm trying to end up being healthy. I do drink. It's just this weekend wasn't meeting up with the proper people and didn't have a proper reason to have a drink. God, I love the Homer Simpson actor so much. He's so good. I think we can bring out a Jerry the King Lawler line for that one as well. Duck, diarrhea of the mouth and constipation of the brain. I mean, Paddy's Day is a good enough reason, to be frank, but I wasn't going out afterwards, and I ended up being the designated driver, and I didn't mind it too much. So it's all a bit of crack. I enjoyed it for what we were doing as well, and I'm in one of those situations at the moment now where, unless there's a good meetup or a meeting up with a good few people, I'm gonna end up leaving it for a bit. So we'll swap Heinz there for a second. We'll go with Lewis, and we'll go with Stefan. And Foston, we will swap with Kangley, and those 4 changes will be enough for us for now, and hopefully we can keep the lead. As for Monday Night Raw, I loved it. Honestly, I loved it. I loved what ended up happening on Monday Night Raw. I think it was a brilliant showcase, a brilliant diversion, and I think it shocked absolutely everyone. Because I genuinely don't think anyone was expecting him to do absolutely nothing but be a whiny bitch. So I loved how John Cena ended up doing it. I do think eventually he'll need to change his persona a bit. Like change the entrance music and all that type of stuff. Just because I think you might as well consistently go against the trend and surprise people. But I loved how Monday Night Raw turned out. And I'm looking forward to see how things end up going further. One of the things that was enjoyable to me too was the fact that they ended up announcing that Friday Night SmackDown is coming to the Tree Arena the week before Clash in Paris. So I'm going to do everything I can to try and get a ticket to that. I mean, I think they should do it now, but I do think that coming out stating that people deserve nothing makes perfect sense for him. So I'm happy they did it this time. I do think they should make the change, but I also think make a big deal about it and do it at Mania might be the best thing to do. Although the last time that happened, we got AJ Styles heel team and like, but we'll see. I'm not too bothered by it. So long as if they do the what is the name of the team that everyone's been putting out there? The song that he recorded back in 08. I think that's the song they should go with. But we'll see what ends up happening because they have time to play it up, and it could be interesting. Could be interesting. Oh, Enric, you beautiful bastard! Does he get his hat trick? Does he get his hat trick? Yes, he got his hat trick. Oh, this is our first win against Atletico Madrid in yonks. In yonks. So it's beautiful that we got that now. It's beautiful win for us. An awful lot of their players got injured. They were really unlucky with Florian getting injured, Trent being injured, Jorian being injured, and Samu being injured. Like, we got incredibly lucky. But at the same point in time, you can only get what's in front of you. Yeah, I'm going to try anyway. I don't actually care about getting, like, ringside or anything like that. I'm just going to try and get something. I'm not rich enough in order to try for that yet. But other than, I've never been to one of the main shows. I've only been to a pay-per-view in terms of, like, recorded shows. So it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't think so, considering it's the week before Clash in Paris. So they're going to be in Europe for the week anyway. But we'll see. Ooh, I didn't know that before. It's been 2-year rotations for the Spanish Cup for Real Madrid for the last couple of years. So it kind of is a detriment if we don't continue the regiment. Oh, Benny, I'm so sorry to end up hearing that. But fair play, no bother on going on the lark. It's a pleasure to have you just at that. If you do become free at any point in time, come back in. But enjoy the lark, and thanks for popping up the viewership numbers. It actually is surprisingly useful having that type of thing, because it does make, in theory, it's meant to make your stream more attractive and make it so that more people have a chance of actually, getting to see your stream. I guess I will do my corporate shilling a slight bit. If any of you want to share the stream out and invite other people in to just talk and say hello or anything like that, feel free to do so. Might as well do a wee bit of corporate shilling while I'm at it, but let's see. Why not? Well, Shamrock Rovers are massive anyway, Duck, and you've done a good job with them based on the images you've put into the Discord. I will say, interesting you got a win over Chelsea. Was it a skin of your teeth win, your 2-1 win against them, or did you end up getting more into it? Also, is it just that the league has started while you're 5th, or has it just been a bad season in the league? Oh no, it is just because the league has started. That's why. Never mind. I can't read. Roman, I'm not 100% sure. Cena, I'd say there's probably a really good chance because he'll want to do everywhere at least once. And considering it's a SmackDown, and by then I suspect he'll be WWE champion, I suspect there's a good chance we might get Cena before France. And that'll be the last time we see Cena in Ireland, I'd say there's a good chance we might end up getting Cena. Roman, I doubt it, unfortunately. Although I'd say there's a good chance we get Jacob too. Although, what the hell did I, as Ireland boss, finish jointly 2nd and 3rd teams, all on 19 points? You didn't show that. Although, how the did I, as Ireland boss, finish jointly 2nd with 3 teams, all on 19 points? I don't think you showed that one in the chat, Duck. But would it be goal difference or would it be alphabetical? Maybe it's that. That's unfortunate. Ooh, 12 games unbeaten in the Spanish Cup. Nice. Which makes no sense how it's 12 games unbeaten since we didn't win the fucking thing last year. Now that I think about that, but whatever. I'm not going to argue the game's stupid abusal of its own records. I mean, it does genuinely seem to be alphabetical order, Duck. Because Bosnia and Herzegovina are first, Ireland is second, and Russia is third. So it does genuinely seem to be alphabetical order. So maybe that's a mistake in FM22. But it does genuinely seem to be that it's just ignored the goal difference and went with alphabetical order. If you believe that. That seems to be what's ended up happening there, which is interesting if that's the case. That's an interesting little bug. Would that be the word you'd end up using for that? And unfortunate for you, to be honest. God, a lot of injuries happening. Excuse me. It's a shame Marco has been so disastrously... Like, he hasn't been disastrously shite for us, but he has just been shite. He has not been worth the money we spent on him. Ooh, baby. Continue to scout him. Bilbao. What's this? What match is this? Second. Oh, in Spanish Cup semi-final first leg against Bilbao. Oh, so we're going to be meeting Barcelona in the final. Nice. Interesting. We might try a quote-unquote weaker defense. We'll go with a younger defense against Bilbao and see how we end up doing. We want to get to the final anyway, so we'll see what ends up happening there. I want to give some of the youth a go. We won't be going too youth heavy in this because Bilbao are still a strong team. Oh, the cockroach might finally be getting sacked. Where are they? Where are they in the Premier League this time? They're 12th this time. The cockroach might finally be getting sacked. I mean, yeah, they've been performing shite. But yeah, the cockroach might finally be getting sacked. Interesting. Who did they have, anyway? Rashford's 34. Jesus. They still have Mount. Oh, funny. It's annoying as I'm defending Euros winners, so to miss out would be embarrassing. Yeah, I'd say so too. It's going to be awkward to end up getting through it, but I'm sure you have a chance. I do have a preferred tea brand, Tele Tea. I've never actually heard of Tele Tea. I'll have to hunt it down, see if I can end up getting it here in Ireland, and see how it tastes. Yorkshire tea, yeah, no. Crazy, my friend. How are you doing? How was your weekend? Did you get up to much? Did the good old St. Patrick end up warming the cockles of your cold heart over the weekend? Did you get up to much mischief or fun? And further than that, even to add to the spice of the question, how is your Wednesday. I didn't at all have to check the calendar in order to ensure what fucking day it was today. It's not like all of them are merging together in an infinite crisis of what the fuck is going on in my head. But oh, I'll give you more Irish crazy. I'll tell you there, I was sat down with a nice old cup of tea there in the open hearth fire, waiting for the boilable fire cooking kettle to boil, so that I could make my Irish tea whiskey concoction, so that it would warm the cockles of me cold dead heart and warm the tips of me cold black toes. Well, waiting on the stew to boil. I am available for hire as a voice actor should anyone want to end up taking the crack. Do I hell play COD? I am disastrously shite at third-person shooters or first-person shooters. With that being said, one of the main reasons that I've never played COD is because it costs too much goddamn money. But I actually have no problem playing shooters at some particular point in time. Anyway, let's put advertisements on for a second, and I shall continue for a second. And then once the advertisements come down, I shall continue that. Oh no, I'd happily end up playing that. I lived in a house with a couple of guys for a period of time, Skull. And within that house, we did end up playing Black Ops 3 Zombies? I think it was Black Ops 3 Zombies. I wasn't great at it. I was only able to get up to wave 15. They were able to get up to wave 30, 33, something like that. But I have no problem playing it. It's just I wouldn't spend money on it. I never had consistent interconnection. That's only something that's happened in the last year, funnily enough. In order to do it. During that period of time, I didn't have a PlayStation in order, or any console of consequence in order to set it up for it, and was just using my laptop. Have an actual desktop setup now, but we only had the laptop there, so I never actually bothered buying it, and I kind of, as a result, missed the initial wave of COD being COD, you know. But I have the height of respect for people that play it, and especially the height of respect for people that are good at it. Nice. It's the same thing as FIFA to me. The last FIFA I purchased was FIFA 22, and the reason why I purchased it is because I got it for £9. And I just... Oh, the cockroach got sacked. Interesting. The cockroach got sacked. It took him years. But the cockroach got sacked. To be honest, it was about time. It was about time. I mean, he joined them here. He joined them here, and they were shite. Ente, how are things? I was meant to get back to you. I've been busy over the last couple of days, and I haven't had a chance to end up getting back to your message about it. When it comes down to the whisper, he ended up words. When it comes down to the thing you were doing there, I wouldn't be able to give a consistent stream throughout the weekday because I ended up working. But for the odd weekend, I'd be able to do something. So it mightn't be for me at the moment to join up with you, but maybe in the future, if I end up growing bigger or end up getting a bit more free time, I might end up joining it for you. But it's a pleasure to end up having you. Oh, well, let me know about it anyway. Yeah, no, EA are a bunch of scamming arseholes, to be honest. I think I was happy that the German government ended up suing them and as a result of which the predatory practices that were engaged upon within the Ultimate Team got a bit more attention. Not enough, unfortunately. There wasn't enough attention to the shite that was happening, which was insanely annoying. But there was some I cannot get my words today. There was some backlash to it, and I think that was right. I genuinely think EA are are very scummy for some of the actions they ended up taking along with that game, to be honest. And I don't like the way that it's ended up being done, but I do respect that they are somewhat fun games, and that I don't blame people for enjoying them. I mean, like, I can't say anything. As I said, I didn't buy the game, but like, I'm a WWE 2K fan, and like, they haven't updated that game in years. In fact, there's bugs in WWE 2K25 that, and I've talked to a couple of people about this that have confirmed it to me. There's bugs in WWE 2K25 that have been in the game since WWE 2K23. When they ended up coming back to fix the thing after they made their colossal fuck-ups. It's good. WWE 2K25, as I literally am stating here, I haven't bought it. Okay? So, take everything I have as third-party information, but the game hasn't been performing bad. People have been finding enjoyable aspects of the game. It looks good. It's running better than most WWE games. The reason I didn't buy it this year is because it didn't have the island on PC, and out of sheer spite, I refused to buy the game without having all access to it. It helps because you don't need to buy the definitive edition, because all of the crap you end up getting is part of the island or the faction mode. But out of sheer spite, that's why I didn't buy it this year, because I was planning on doing streams and a whole lot with it, because I love the fucking thing. But, I mean, 24 was just an improvement on 23. They're just shining it up and making genuine improvements. But I do feel sorry for the 2K team, because maybe under the Triple H regime, he's being a wee bit more accommodating to them. But under the old regime, things would change and they wouldn't tell anyone. Like, a prime example of this is Chris Van Vliet mentioned it once. When WWE 2K23 was coming out, I think it was 1 month before the game was releasing, they changed the Raw and SmackDown sets, and they didn't tell 2K ahead of time that we're changing the sets, so 2K had to scramble in order to add the sets in. And to be fair to them, they added those sets into the game. But there's lots of things missing and lots of inconsistencies that need to be improved upon, and time will tell whether or not they actually are able to do them. Excuse me. My deepest apologies. That's so fucking rude. I still have this goddamn catch in my throat. I've had it for 2 weeks now. I mean, 2K aren't the worst of them. They are owned. They're owned by like 2K is the company that owns Rockstar. So they are known for their predatory practices as well. So like, Take-Two Interactive are not the paragons of gaming development. So, like, they're better than EA, but they're not exactly to be put on a pedestal to be looked upon as greatness either. But at least they tried. At least they had the wherewithal to take a year out and turn around and say, was it 2K that got the FIFA license? Let me check. Yes, 2K secured the FIFA license, according to Monoplay Inc. FIFA 2K25 should launch at some point this year. But I haven't heard anything about it. Supposedly, it's $250 million a year just for the licensing fee before you develop anything or you end up doing the advertising. So, I don't know. The last article I ended up hearing about it was in May 2024, and I haven't heard anything since. I don't know if 2K have it. Well, fair play to them. It's a fucking big task. But yeah, not too bad. How strong are Greece in comparison to you, Duck? Do you have much of a chance of ending up beating them? Am I going too weak? Am I going too weak against Bilbao? I don't think so. We'll see about that. It depends incredibly about how strong it ends up hitting out of the cannon, because an awful lot of people thought that the successor to Pro Evolution, eFootball, was going to end up doing well. And like, eFootball is still being released by Konami, and I think it's eFootball, isn't it? Am I getting mixed up? What's the name of the fucking one that's coming out now? It is eFootball, isn't it? I think it's eFootball. Let me check. Fucking hell. That's what we get for going down a rabbit hole. Yeah, eFootball. eFootball was meant to be a competitor to that PES. There is another one. I'm almost positive. I mean, I thought there was a later one than that. UFootball might be it, yeah. UFL, yeah. Ultimate Football League, UFL. That's the one I'm thinking of. The one that has Cristiano Ronaldo's face plastered all over it. Yeah, that's the one that's meant to be competing with us as well, which I think is made by similar people that ended up coming up with eFootball. But, like, unfortunately, when it comes down to a competitor to EA, even though the way EA plays and the way that EA they haven't changed the game in fucking years is a problem, you get one chance. You get one chance for it to be competitive. So you need to make sure that it's fun. You need to make sure that it's not too arcadey. You need to make sure that it's close to... I would honestly go as close as I could to the most popular FIFA that ended up coming out, which is maybe FIFA 16 to 18. So we'll see what ends up happening. If the game doesn't have good gameplay, it might end up hitting a bit the wrong way, unfortunately. But we'll see. I'd be slightly worried about it if I were you. I would be actually somewhat surprised if it is anyways competitive. I think 2K might have just sunk maybe 300 million quid into shite. But time will tell. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But it is not easy to compete with EA. Just people like the feel of it, like the whole connection of it. And if you don't end up doing a Ultimate Team version of it, which there's no chance they won't. They'll do a my faction type system since it's in all their other games. Let's see how things end up going. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. The FIFA 16 to 20 was maybe where it was the most popular, you know? So go for something akin to that. Because, like, they did have to, after 20 pissed everyone off and 21 pissed everyone off, they tried to make it a tiny bit more arcadey with 22, and people liked 22 onwards. I know people were annoyed the year they lost the FIFA license because they literally made no change between the game. They just coloured the paint on it, and I've been doing that for the last 4 years. But we'll see what ends up happening with it. But again, I don't really care about the game. It's just my viewpoint was that I'm not bothered purchasing it, which is the same reason why I didn't buy the WWE game. I am curious if how the FM deal. What a shot! Fucking Nora Kangley. Look at this shot. It's almost like he stopped it in midair just to bloody weapon that in. It's a volley too. What a shot. Anyway, yeah, they can put good money into it, to be fair. I just hope they end up putting enough into it and they end up making sure that it actually is fun. And play test the shit out of it before you release it. Well, that's good. Good that you'll end up beating Greece anyway. Because, like, if you're spending that much on the license, is it going to be more that you're going to end up focusing on the kind of extras, the my faction elements, the extra elements that'll get you their money? I'm not sure. That could be a bone of contention, Duck, because you might be able to pass them, as has been showcased a number of times on this stream throughout the seasons that we've ended up doing. Goalkeeper. Marco, you useless bastard. A goalkeeper can have the hands of Midas and just have that golden touch where there's nothing you can do to stop them. It's very rarely happened that my goalkeeper has had the hands of motherfucking Midas, but it has happened a good number of times that the opposition goalkeeper has had the hands of motherfucking Midas. And for those of you that don't know what I'm referencing, Midas is known as a god that basically anything he touches turns into gold. No, let's go, Cena. How are you doing up? I do think the actual funniest thing to come from that, and I don't like the man as a wrestler since he left, but I do think the actual funniest thing that has happened from that was Santi Zap. For anyone that's into wrestling, I highly recommend you watch Santi Zap's streams. He's fantastic at streaming, goes through, even though that community is a bit off at the moment. But Santi Zap is amazing. But Santi Zap ended up posting up a Twitter message that was basically him writing into his notebook stating that I still love you, Cena, and the whole lot. And then Dijak, who has a conflated opinion of his own worth, but Dijak basically posted up stating with the image underneath it, and it actually is really funny. I just can't remember what he said, and I'm too lazy to go and find the post. Anyway, up, how are you doing, my friend? Oh, nothing happened to Santi. Santi's still big and around. It's just TikTok keeps deleting all of his shit, and WWE and AEW were weird about it. So the kind of whole wrestling reaction space has gotten a bit murky on how you're able to actually watch shit, you know? And to keep using their reactions on WWE, and then will content strike them because WWE's communication teams won't fucking talk to each other. But yeah, you know, He's on Instagram as well. So if you ever want to see some of his reactions, you can end up doing that. But yeah, no. How was your weekend doing up? How did your St. Patrick's Day go? Was it an enjoyable time? Did you enjoy it? Did you do anything exciting? Did you enjoy the festivities? Also, as for you, the search, the duck, the journey to El Dorado is an amazing story, and I will someday find it. I will become the next Nathan Drake and find El Dorado. I swear. I swear it. It might be in a game, but I'll find El Dorado. Nice. Happy out. So, does that mean now up that you have to do more, do you have to take more initiative in the coaching side of things, or is it training drills that is the point of the module, or is it just getting more experience to go on to the next module for it? Have you registered when you have your C badge coming into place? Because I'd love to end up hearing the agenda getting it, because that'd be awesome. Whoa, whoa, hold the phone for a second there. I'm just after reading what the hell you just said there, Duck. My goalkeeper was the second top goal scorer in the league. Motherfucker, how? What bizarro formation, or how shit is your league that your goalkeeper is your second top goal scorer? I haven't been looking at free runs, so I can't give any comments on it. Delivered a 25-minute session on playing through central areas. Got some good feedback from the coach developer. Happy out! Well, that's brilliant to end up hearing that. Playing out from the back, though, I have a bit of the Sam Allardyce and situation and the Sean Dyche situation of tiki-taka football. If you're not careful, it'll end up whooping your ass 10 ways to Sunday. As we've showcased a bit in this game here, and as we've seen a lot in the Premier League this year, it leads to a lot of unnecessary goals and makes defenders look shite. I'd say it can be dangerous for youths playing out from the back. That's one of the things I've always wanted to question someone that's actually into coaching minors. Is it being used in youth football at the moment? Because it leads an awful lot of pressure on the defenders, and in youth football, how do you handle that type of pressure? You know, I'd love to end up hearing that. I'd love to end up getting an interview with a trainer or a coach to the under-14s of one of the big clubs where they actually get good talent, and see how they end up reacting to that. Because you have to be training them in this. You'd have to be thinking that at the likes of Liverpool now, even at 14. Well, I say it now. Who knows? Maybe Arnold Slot has changed things, but you would assume under the 8 years that they had Klopp there, the under-14s to the all the way up, like even the under-8s maybe, like they'd have to in some way be playing the formation that Klopp would be playing, which is the reason why players just slot in to the positions that they end up needing everyone. So I was just wondering how that would end up working. We deliver to adults. I encourage you teams to play forward at every chance they can. I do see some teams even at lower divisions trying to play out from the back. Yeah, like that's just my wonder about it. Like I'd love. Yeah, I obviously am in no position to do it. Maybe maybe in God, maybe, you know, Lord bless if all went well. Even though I'm, you know, not religious, but you know what I mean. The turn of state. If things got lucky, I could maybe would get into a position of that. But I'd love to end up having someone asking that type of question to youth football and hearing the answer. I hope that's a goal, because Warren deserves it. Nice. It's a really good goal for Warren. For a really weak side too that we've put together, this has been a really good performance. it'll be younger than that. Under 8s and under 9s start playing out from the back using similar systems to the 11v11 team of that club. Yeah, that's what I figured would be the case, but I'm just wondering specifically for the defenders, considering you see it quite a substantial amount in the main game, never mind the under game, the youth game. How do they end up handling that type of pressure? And like, does it cause people issues? Does it cause the youth issues? Do some kids crack under the pressure just because you've done that? How do you end up making more about it? Because in my opinion, playing out from the back has made an awful lot of defenders look an awful lot worse than they otherwise might be. You're coming off now, considering you've performed absolutely catatonically shite. Because of course you have. Why the hell wouldn't you, Marco? Anyway, before we continue on, Amanda, my good friend, how are you doing? How was your weekend festivities? Did you get up to anything exciting for Paddy's Day? Did you have a couple of a new term that I absolutely love and will continue to use now, the holy act of drinking alcohol? Did you get any libations over the weekend period of time? Did you have any beautiful libations? I will milk that word for all that it is worth now that I know it. And Marco, you got a goal before being taken off. Fair play to you, my poor stupid bastard. Patterns of play are quite common to train playing out from the back, running through patterns in training to get players' repetition. I think some kids just want to be brave with the ball, but others might not be comfortable, just like at the top level. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Just an interesting conversational point, because we can see it with the likes of Rasmus Højlund with Manchester United, but like in youth football in particular, it's all about confidence. Losing confidence will just make someone want to stop playing the game. And like in senior football, you're on, like, to be fair, in youth football you're in contracts as well, but you still have a tenure issue where in youth football, if you want to stop playing, you can stop playing. So I was just wondering, and I would love to hear, as morbid as it is, has the change in football tactics that basically Pep has ended up bringing in, that playing out from the back has caused an uptick in players leaving the game in the youth level because of the pressure that has been put into actually learning that type of system. Because it still looks like defenders haven't gotten that type of play down, and as a result of which it looks like the defenders are far worse than they might actually be. Or maybe I'm just deluded. Could be both. I did a few after the game, but last night I went a little over the top. I mean, Amanda, how dare you say such sacrilege? There is no such thing as over the top. There's only under the bottom line. There's only I haven't gotten there yet. But fair play to you for at least having the fun. And I'm kidding, of course there's an over the top. But I hope it was a good old time of while you ended up going through it, my friend. What were you on? What type of beverages were you partaking in last night, my friend? We have a CB who played a year up, never seen a young CB so comfortable with the ball, and we play at a lower level. He's so good at winning the ball and driving into the midfield, but it's so confident. Has he been scouted yet? Up, because like, if he's that good, maybe one of you should actually consider like contacting one of the bigger teams and maybe try and get him scouted in. Could be good for your career and the whole lot. Four fucking two. Hoof it. That's a beautiful name for that tactic, Duck. Beautiful name for that tactic. Also, this is beautiful. A 5-0 win in the first leg of the semi-cup is beautiful for us. It means we don't really need to worry into the next round when we end up having it. Now, with that being said, guys, I will answer anything that ends up coming in, talk amongst yourselves, and I'll give more of my personal opinions when it ends up coming down. There's an ad about to happen, and I need to put some turf on the fire. So while we're waiting on that to go on, I'm going to make a quick break, and I'll be back as soon as I can. So continue to talk amongst yourselves, and I will answer anything that has been said as soon as I return. So bear with me. Well, I have returned there. It wasn't too long, thankfully. Just, taking a couple of little things done there. So, let's look at what was said. 6 points clear, and it's looking slightly worrying. We've got PSV, the game after the break, and that's basically the season-defining game. We win the league, or we don't. How are you looking for PSV, by the way? Do you think you have much of a chance of actually surpassing them, Amanda? Do you think you're going to have any issues with them? Or will you end up getting through them with a bit of ease? Are you struggling a bit for form? How's all that going? Anyway, let's continue to look. I'd love to have scouted him. So I'm guessing, based on that statement up, somebody already has scouted him and that he's probably going to a big team. As for Duck Over the Top does not exist. I'll have you know Duck Over the Top is the name of a fantastic wrestling organization here in Ireland. Over the Top Wrestling. A fantastic organization. You started this, Duck. Your fault. I'll end up talking innately about them once I end up finishing the rest of this conversation, because I know you love the wrestling talk, Duck. I know you love it so much, and you brought up this conversation, so we have to talk about it. It's only right that we talk about it. It would be wrong if we didn't talk about it. Anyway, Still not sure why Tuchel picked Henderson, to be honest, because the England team ends up needing some leaders, and the current batch of leaders are so confrontational with each other that they end up having a problem. So he knows that a captain that's actually somewhat good at being a captain is a good option. That's the sole reason why he picked him. In my opinion, I could be wrong on that, but that would be the reason why I think he picked Henderson. I think he's solely there to be a figurehead to unify and merge the team together, if you get my point. I think that's one of England's big problems, is that even though they have more talent than they know what to do with, they don't have enough captains in order to conglomerate that into an actual team. Tequila shot after tequila shot. Yeah, it was fun, but geez, I woke up to a murder scene. I have no idea how I got home. Aren't those the best nights, though? I remember on my 21st, I ended up drinking a bottle of Chardonnay, a bottle of sake, and a bottle of whiskey. I was so drunk that I was dancing on the dance floor asleep. And when the bouncer would end up coming up to me saying, "You can't be asleep there," I turn around and say, "What the fuck are you on about? I'm dancing here." So I was literally just... But who gave a fuck? I was dancing. I can, in a way. The team is really new and young. I think he's looked at Kane as the old boys who lead them. Yeah, you basically said what I was saying there. You going to SmackDown in Dublin? Well, I don't know yet, but I've signed up for the pre-sale up. So I'm planning to, if I can get the ticket for it. I'd love to. It's the first time Ireland has ever had a live WWE event there, in terms of televised event. We've had lives there before. I've been to a few of them, but I plan to if I can, and I really, really want to, and we'll see how that ends up going. They're a really weird team. They're either really good or really bad. Form doesn't really matter going into it. Either the boys are up for it or they're not, but we need a draw at the absolute minimum. I kind of agree. I'm guessing you're on about your team, so I don't know enough about Ajax to be able to give a comment about it, other than the fact that Kenneth Taylor has been probably your best player all season, and you poor bastards are losing him at the end of the season. Based on everything that I've ended up seeing, I love Kenneth Taylor, and I wonder who's going to nick him at the end of the season, because he's going to be one hell of a poke for whoever ends up getting him. I respectfully disagree. If it was anything about character, Rashford wouldn't have been picked. Tuchel has always loved Rashford. Tuchel wanted Rashford when he was with Chelsea. That's about Tuchel having favoritism. Tuchel loves Rashford. When he was going on for the United position, was one of the reasons why he was being considered to be a United manager. It's because of his relationship with Rashford. He wants Rashford. It's kind of like Ten Hag and his obsession with Onana. He fucking loves Rashford. Another player he absolutely loves is Scott McTominay, which is one of the reasons why it's kind of lucky that he's with Scotland and not England, because he'd be definitely picked. Gallagher or Wharton? I don't know about Wharton. Maybe you're right about Gallagher. Kane has been the captain the entire time that they were there, and he wasn't enough to unify them. There's a lot of heavy personalities in that squad. The main of which, in my opinion, would be Bellingham. I think it'll be interesting to see how he deals with Bellingham's personality and how that ends up interacting with people. I think there's just too many egos in that team, and that's one of the reasons why Henderson could be useful. As for Walker, Walker had a good display for himself, and it's kind of hard to know who you'd put in place of Walker at the moment. I mean, I'd personally maybe put Chamori there, and I know an awful lot of people would say you'd be playing Trent where Walker is anyway. Or maybe you'd end up going in the middle there, but I probably would have went with Chamori myself. But Walker's not a bad poke for the moment. I don't think Walker makes it past this year, though. I don't know if Walker gets picked consistently from here on out. But we'll see what ends up happening. Newer designs, they look very Attack on Titan-esque. I mean, yes, they kind of do, yeah. They're nice designs, though. I think I'm going to go to the Newcastle live event. I mean, the live events are awesome, and if you can get to them, because this round of European tours have been so massively successful for WWE, they're thinking about doing it more often. Hato, here's a question for you, Amanda, because I heard mixed reviews about this. Hato, is it true that he has about a 45 million euro release clause? Because if it is, he could be another one that's poked this weekend, and I know you'll get money for him, but he could be one that's poked this weekend. Yeah, well, I mean, he's playing too good at the moment, Doc. And unfortunately, there isn't really anyone who can take his place. Tony moved to an entirely different league where he's not good enough, where it's not good enough for him. I don't think Solanke is English, is he? Oh no, he is English. Yeah, so Solanke could be picked, but I mean, you need someone in case King gets injured. It's a lot of pressure to put in a 20-year-old. It's a lot of pressure to put in a 20-year-old to put Delap there. I am, and I'll get pelters for this one. I am of the opinion that Liam Delap has been overrated by quite a substantial amount. Galácticos was, but his injury really threw us off, and he hasn't been good lately. I'm not sure if he's fit enough. That could be the case. Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening with him. He's a very good player, Hado. So we'll see what ends up happening there. I like Liam Delap, but the other thing with Liam Delap too is he actually in the English squad, because I thought Liam Delap was Northern Ireland. I don't actually care, but oh yeah, Ollie Watkins. Fuck it, I completely forgot about him. I mean, that's kind of the problem with England. You have so much firepower to play with. So it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening with them. I don't give a shit. Obviously, I'm Irish, so I genuinely don't give a shit, but I kind of want them to do somewhat well. I don't want them to break the record of having no championships. I know it's impossible, but I kind of love the idea of Harry Kane finishing his career with no trophies. Like, I don't think he has a single trophy, does he? Other than, like, personal trophies, you know? I don't actually think he has any trophies, does he? I mean, his only trophy is the Torrentino International Algarve under 17 with England. He's won no trophies. I kind of love the idea that he finishes his career with no trophies. Individual awards, all he wants, like with Bayern Munich having the Golden Boot and definitely going to get it again this year. I kind of love that. I love him being the Player of the Year multiple times for England and Tottenham, but he has no actual team trophies, and I kind of, as cruel, as fucking cruel as it is, I kind of really want him to retire with no trophies. Like, I know it's an asshole want, but it's just me. I mean, who would Bayern sell him to? And how much would you spend on him? He's 31 now. Bayern will not want to lose him because he's scoring like fucking hotcakes for them. In fact, I think he's papering over the cracks of what's otherwise a bit of a crap team. I do not believe that for an instance. I do not believe that for a goddamn instance. I would believe that he has a $60 million release clause to Tottenham. I would believe that, but I do not believe for an instance he has a general $60 million release clause, because if he does, United will go in for him. Honestly, I don't believe for an instance he has that. He signed a 5-year contract, didn't he? I think he signed a 5-year contract. Or reported that it's valid from worth around 65 and not now. Tottenham have matching rights. I mean, maybe. The Bayern Munich Reddit page says about it, but I genuinely don't believe it. Maybe it's true, but I genuinely don't believe it. I guess he said no comment on the clause, so maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. I mean, there'll be a lot of fuckers after that clause if that's true. Although, by this time next year, maybe he's slowed down. Maybe he's lost a bit of his edge. Maybe he's just not all there anymore. There's a lot of maybes. There's a lot of maybes that could happen in between then. I mean, that is kind of funny, to be honest. I wonder what... Oh, fuck off. Anyway, yeah, that is kind of weird. It's more weird for the fact that he's so young. I seen a save where he got sacked from United and went on to West Ham and somehow ended up winning the league at West Ham. Benny will be ecstatic whenever I end up telling him about it. I didn't take any images of it, and I don't have the save anymore. It was a friend of mine that ended up doing the save. But, yeah, I saw that. Oh, Pierre-Emerick. Interesting. Yeah, it's kind of sad, the state of Irish footballers in general. Unfortunately, it is in an atrocious state at the moment, because there's genuinely no good Irish footballers out there at the moment. Like, I mean, you could maybe contest that Evan Ferguson is a good Irish footballer, but there genuinely is none. The level of quality of the Irish footballers that have been produced in the last while is shocking. Genuinely shocking, and it's annoying. It's annoying as hell. But to be fair, the FAI aren't putting any money into the goddamn thing, so how do you expect there to be any? It's one of the most annoying things about seeing the state of Irish football. It's just genuinely it's almost gotten to the point with Irish football that it's beyond repair. It's almost gotten to the point where Irish football is just screwed, where we're not going to have any good Irish footballers anymore. Unless a scout is lucky and pokes an Irish football player that has some decent quality out of Ireland to somewhere like bloody Netherlands or Spain or something like that. Did you see Discord General? No. What's in Discord General? I'm guessing you mean General Crap. Oh, the Ajax, yes. Yes, the Ajax celebration. That looked awesome. I'd say you could hear that from your house, Amanda, did you? That looked absolutely awesome. Like, if there was music or anything like that, obviously you heard the fireworks, because you posted the goddamn thing. But, like, that genuinely is awesome to see. And the red hue and the whole lot, that's incredible. Okay. Anyway, in we go to the third game now. Villarreal. A dangerous team, but hopefully we end up doing okay. In terms of league positioning at the moment, they're 6th, and Julian Nagelsmann's their manager. Thankfully, we've had a good reputation against Julian Nagelsmann. I think it's just been luck more than anything else. But we shall chance our arm and see how we end up doing. Hopefully, we end up doing well. Cross your arms a bit for us, because we might end up needing it, and we'll see what ends up happening there. I think it was a very good opening to Raw. I like the ending of the steel cage match. And I understand why they did it the way they did it. I'm just not a massive fan of Roman causing Seth to win. I know he doesn't give a shit about Seth's match, but I'm genuinely not a massive fan of him giving Seth the W. I wonder, obviously it's a triple threat match, but I do wonder how they're going to square the peg of, am I getting this week mixed up with last week? What was this week? Oh yeah, because you had, yeah, I am getting mixed up. What the fuck was this week? Because you had Cena this week in Brussels. Basically, the Cena thing is all that mattered. No, I am right. The steel cage match was this week. You confused me there for a second. The steel cage match was this week. That's also not going to be Balor versus, like, at Mania, that's also not going to be Balor versus Breakker. It's going to be at least a Fatal 4-Way. Dominic's going to be in it as well. But yeah. It'd be interesting to see what happens. I think it was a fine show. I'm interested for next Monday to have another interaction between them. Oh, you're right, too. I could have sworn that steel cage was this week. Yeah, let's bring up Raw. Sometimes I hate shows. Okay, Raw recap. What was it? Bad Man. Yeah, John Cena and his whininess. Cool. Cody Rhodes saying something bad. Yeah, Rhea Ripley smashing Bianca Belair down and signing the contract. Weirdly, didn't sign it with her name, but that's fine. Penta came out and said that he wants the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah. Dirty Dom wants Penta to join, which I wonder if potentially they'll end up making... Rey Fenix end up joining instead of Penta and have Rey go heel for a bit, because I think Penta is, even though I'd love to see the Phoenix brothers team up with each other, like the Lucha brothers team up with each other, I think Penta's having too good of a run on his own. I think having a heel Rey at the start would be a good way to start it. Dakota Kai picked up the win, yeah. American Made in the LWO, and then we ended up seeing the American Luchador. Seth is heading to SmackDown. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, I was getting mixed up. Yeah. Supposedly, he's not bad, but he's going to go straight down to NXT, which is the unfortunate thing about that. There's no way he's going straight to the main roster. So, and NXT is getting to the point where it might be a bit overstacked. I worry a bit for Ricky Starks. I mean, having Ethan Page as his first opponent isn't a bad option. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Into my 39th season of the save. How are you finding that? Like, has it started lagging up yet, Duck? Like, there has to be an awful lot of profiles. Like, are you saving profiles, or are they just being wiped? Have you many players in that save at the moment? That's an incredibly long save. Like, I know I'm 10 years into this one, but that's an incredibly long save. Well, yeah, but like on SmackDown, we seen the image to both Rey Fenix and Aleister Black there, so both of them are showing up. It'll be interesting to see how Hikuleo, yeah, but Lance is injured, So that's the reason why Lance Anawahi hasn't shown up yet. Lance is injured. And as for Hikuleo, no one has any idea what the fuck they're doing with him. And then you have Umanga's son out on the scene as well. Whatever the hell his name is. Anyway, let's go with this. Wish us a bit of luck, guys. We might end up needing it. Zilla, that's it. Zilla Fatu, yep. Who looks interesting, to be honest. He looks a bit too small to be doing his father's gimmick. But in general, Zilla Fatu looks incredible. He has that Jacob intensity. He looks like he could be a genuine monster whenever he decides to go to WWE. I will say one person I was slightly looking at there when it comes down to wrestling that I kind of wish got to WWE, because I think she might have something there if she got lucky, is Billy Starks. She's young and has a good showcase of herself. And then what was her name? Jim Cornette was on about the one that attacked Monet there recently as well. So there's a couple of interesting people, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm just interested in what happens with it later on, but for now, we'll just play it by ear and watch it time by time. On another news, something that we didn't get to talk about because I wasn't live for it, United putting in a genuine good display against, I mean, to be fair, Leicester, but a genuine good display on Saturday there. They actually put a good account for themselves. The team seems to be building in confidence. You can see it in their faces a bit. Some people actually look like they might have a bit in them. Garnacho, even though he was running around like a headless chicken, looked particularly good. Like the best thing about Garnacho's performance was that he wasn't on the left, so he wasn't shooting as much. That's what I'm saying. You can only go against what you're up against, but you do need to get confidence somewhere, and if you can get anything from it, that's what you need. And I think a couple of them started to look like it. You could see that Rasmus was geared up. You could see Garnacho was geared up. You could see, unfortunately, Heaven. Hopefully the injury isn't too bad, but Heaven was having a man of the match game beforehand, and you can see the gears running in Bruno. Again, only Leicester, but you need to start somewhere and see how that ends up going. I mean, I seen her in NXT. Like I know why she done it, but those fucking boots looked ridiculous. She looked like a Pastello'd Patrick Starr. That's what she looked like. She looked like a Pastello'd Patrick Starr. I don't like that look. You look like a big macho motherfucker. Like, you go into the big macho motherfucker, you know, like gimmick. Like, go into it. But I like Jordan Grace. I think she's a phenomenal wrestler, and I think she has ways to go. I think she needs to be in NXT, though, but I think that's a former WWE champion. Amron should be publicly humiliated. Why? If you conceded against them at all. I mean, but we didn't. And I mean, with Onana, who the fuck knows what's going to end up happening? I do feel a bit sorry for Rude, though, because I think Rude is going to get sacked before the end of this season. Even though he needs more time, but he's probably going to get sacked before the end of the season. I mean, I hope above hope, no matter what, they end up standing behind Amron. If Amron turns around and says, I want to get rid of half the squad, I hope they actually follow him and let him get rid of half the squad. Like, there's a rumor going around there at the moment that he wants to get rid of Onana. It'll cost us, for us to break even, we need to get 35 million quid for Onana. It's unlikely we're going to end up getting that, but if he wants to get rid of Onana, get rid of Onana. You know, I hope they actually follow him and follow up behind him and give him the good things, because We'll see what ends up happening. I mean, to be fair, like, Onana's not that bad. I think it's the speed of the Premier League that's Onana's problem. I think, ironically, I think in any of the other leagues, he'd probably be fine. I think it's just the speed of the Premier League that's chopping him up at the moment. And he seems to be gaining confidence as well, but we'll fucking see. It's hard to know with him. Is that fair, though, Duck? Has he been given enough time? Has he been given enough time for it to be... for him to be sacked? Like, I don't like the idea of sacking a manager before they're given a year. Like, if you've made your decision, sink in your bed and for the year. But, like, yeah, they haven't been great, have they? I don't think he was going to save them either, but he should have given a better account of himself than he has. Like, they are just... I know they're 19th, but I think they are the worst team in the league. But, like, saying that Juventus have a good keeper is all good and well. Like, Juventus had a good keeper in Onana when he fucking stormed the Champions League final and played really well for them for that season. Maybe it's just that United is too much pressure for him. Like, goalkeepers have been destroyed at United before. Barthez comes to mind when you think about it. And genuine players have been destroyed at United before. There's a lot of pressure at United, and like, he hasn't been given a single chance. The first fuck up was, you know, caught him by the gills and thrown by the wayside. Right, deserved in some cases, but like, it's hard to bloody know. Maybe I think he's been given enough time, but it's hard to know whether or not, if any goalkeeper you get to United would end up doing it. Ironically, I'd probably go back for De Gea if you could get him for cheap. It's the same problem I have with Anthony. Like, Anthony went through fucking monstrous levels of shite in his personal life and the whole lot, but was thrown with that fucking tag straight away. It's the same thing that that Harry Maguire went through, and fair play to Maguire, he came back from the adversity, and like, he's never going to be a world beater, he's never a world class defender, but Maguire gave a good account for himself and ended up showing it up, you know. The burger's outside their grounds though. Oh no, Amanda doesn't. I don't know. He loves the club. He loves the club, so he might. But it did, like, if the story is true, and he went for holidays, being told he was going to be given a contract, and was handed the contract before he went on holidays, and had signed his half of the contract, but was told that they'll finish their half of the contract when he comes back. And then when he came back, they got rid of his contract. If that's true, I wouldn't go back to them. But with that being said, he's in his late 30s now. Do you go back for him? Like, what age is De Gea? Like, he's 34. At max, you're getting 4 years out of him. Rob Elliott is available. I have no idea who Rob Elliott is, to be honest. Maybe I should, but I have no idea who Rob Elliott is. Boston, Kang Lee. Wayne needs to be taken off, so we're going to put Stefan there. Eduardo off for Lewis. And I think we go Cora off for Hamilton. Hopefully we don't get any injuries. Also, to court for their father's death in a copter crash for potential loss of earnings is fucking evil and morbidly unforgivable. Yeah. I don't have any great time for them anyway. I think the way they handled Ranieri was the wrong way to go about it as well. So I don't know. It's hard. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Up. He has been fantastic for Fiorentina, but that's also the thing of it's a much slower league and he has much more time to decide it. If he went back to the Premier League, would he be okay for it? Like, Edison is a very good goalkeeper. You can see that he just doesn't have the mental acuity now to control his body in a way that the speed of the Premier League works. Would the same be the case for De Gea? It's hard to know. It's hard to know. And it's disrespectful to say that he wouldn't. Like, Van der Sar went until his 40s before he ended up retiring. De Gea would know himself. Whether he'd want to go back or whether he should go back is another kettle of fish all of itself entirely. But, I mean, if you could get him for cheap is all I'm saying. And even if you could get him for cheap and he wouldn't be on fucking north of 150,000 quid, if you could get him for that, if he was your second place goalkeeper, you'd be happy, wouldn't you? In case something happened to your first place. But I don't know. If you could get, and again, this is smoke at the copium, but if you could get 35 million quid for Onana, even if it was over 5 years, if you could get the 35 million quid for Onana, I'd go for Costa. Again, smoke at the copium, but, you know. Or if you believe that Ineos is Brexit, they're probably going to go for Pickford. I mean, Brendan Rodgers is a good manager. The problem with Brendan Rodgers is he had lost everyone from the players to the back end before he had left. And Brendan Rodgers has a nasty, nasty, nasty habit of doing that. Of pissing off everyone around him to the point that no one wants to work with him. He basically does a Mourinho. Or a Roy Keane, to be more exact. So, yeah. It's hard to know. Fun fact, I wanted him to replace Wenger when he left. I mean, that would have been a shout and a half if he had gone to Arsenal after at one point being a Liverpool manager. I still feel sorry for Unai Emery when he was there. He was treated horrible when he was at Arsenal. I mean, we'll see what ends up happening. Like, at one point in time, United were meant to be going for that Japanese goalkeeper Suzuki. I'd say that's probably dead in the water now, since the last quotation that was given to United for him was something like 40 million quid. But I kind of have the opinion we should go for a young goalkeeper, go for a 17, 18-year-old that has potential to end up growing and train him to eventually be the replacement of Onana. Like, I think if Belinder didn't end up getting injured, I think he would have pushed out Onana. And as a result of which, he would have taken Onana's place. And he would be the goalkeeper now at the moment. It's kind of the same situation of I feel sorry for Heaven, because Heaven would have confirmed himself as that position. That's kind of what I mean. Go for someone like Mark Vemberberg. If you could get him for a good enough price, he have him there as your secondary goalkeeper and see how things end up going with that. Go with that way and see how it goes. I mean, it's hard to know as well. Again, to use United as the example, we had Kovac there, who's 24, who we sold to Bayern Leverkusen, who we still have a buyback clause on, by the way. So would you go for him? But Duck might be right in a way. If they don't have the pressure of knowing that they're the main goalkeeper there and they know that they can be just sent back to loan and everything ends up going from there, I think a goalkeeper's a different mentality entirely. And it's very rare to see goalkeepers go on loan and actually do well and get the development they need to out of it. It's kind of one of the reasons why during the Leicester game, I mean, I'm happy at the end of the day they played it, but I kind of wish the rumor that Onana hadn't passed his fitness test was true, so that we could get a go and see how was going to do. Dermot the 22-year-old. I also think if you're 22 years of age and still in the academy, I'm sorry, that's you're just, you know, it's probably a waste of time, but it's hard though. Onana nor Belinder is good enough. United very much need a goalkeeper that's ready for next pre-season. You see, that's the thing about it. Onana was good enough at Milan before we got him. And then he lost his confidence and he never got it back. And maybe it's the pressure and the whole lot of being the United goalkeeper. Maybe it's just the Premier League is too fast for him, maybe the whole lot, but he was good enough. He showed that he could be good enough because he was good in that Champions League final. But some people never get it. Once you lose it, you never get it. Rashford might never be as good as he was during his heyday when he was there. Sometimes you just have it and then you lose it. We don't know if Belinder is good enough, Amanda, because Belinder hasn't been given enough time to prove he was good enough anywhere. Like, it's one of the things that I kind of liked about his signing. Nobody knew about him. And it's cool getting players that nobody knows about and seeing whether or not they do well. So we don't know about Belinder. You're probably right that he wasn't good enough, but with game time, he could have shocked people and have been good enough. You know? To be the police, but Bart Vendenberg. I'm guessing when you say you hate to be the police, there's something in his past that is wrong with him. I know nothing about Bart Vendenberg, so I can't end up commenting. Jamal Blackman, for example. I don't know who that is either. Ben Foster. Did Ben Foster... yeah, but did Ben Foster become good on loan up? Because I think it wasn't until he actually got his full-time positioning that Ben Foster became good. And maybe he developed, but I don't know. That cup match against Spurs said enough about him. Well, did it? Because the entirety of the midfield and the defense was shit there. But maybe you're right. You see, I don't think so. At Ajax, Onana done the exact same mistakes he does today. He's good when he's good, but he's bad. He's horrible. Yeah, I guess. I heard, by the way, I know this is probably going to cause an awful lot of people to go bonkers, but I know that Mark Goldbridge turned around and said, looking at him, that he does an awful lot of basics of goalkeeping incorrect. And Ben Foster has said this as well, that he looks like a mistake waiting to happen. And that's a showcase of how bad the scouting is. So maybe that's true. I genuinely don't know. Goalkeeping is the position in football that I know the least about, and the one I'm the least confident in giving any opinion of, much to my chagrin. I wish I was more confident in my opinion and my interpretation of how goalkeepers end up working. I know next to nothing about the inner workings of how goalkeeping end up working, the best ways to do structural bits for goalkeeping. It's unfortunately one of my weak points. So I don't know. Irish Alan, how are you doing, my friend? A pleasure to have you in here. Is all going well with you? It's going well. You can end up getting an FM save here, so you can end up reading this if you want. Did I type that right? No, it's FM story, because I'm a twat and don't know my own I'm a twat and don't know my own shortcuts. There we go, my friend. Thank you so much for the follow, by the way. How is life treating you? Is your Wednesday going well? Thank you so much for the follow. It is well appreciated. I love when we end up getting new people in there. And it's a pleasure to end up having you here. Talk away with us and everything will be grand. Anyway, let's look at what that was. Marana said, but it's Bart. Oh, Bart. Okay, fair enough. True Grant is a young goalkeeper on loan at Braxton from Man City this season. What a goalkeeper, by the way. Man City. Well, we have to keep an eye on him, because that means he's going to be sold to Southampton in the next year or two. And maybe we can nick him there. But Alan, the save has been doing well. This season has been a very good season in comparison to the season before. We're in a race for our lives with Barcelona, who are monsters again this season. 20 wins, 3 draws, 70 goal difference. The fuckers have only something like 3 goals scored against them. And most of them are from these. Yeah. But we have done phenomenally well at the last wee bit. We have a couple of annoying losses, a couple of annoying situations. We're out of a cup, but in general, we're not doing too bad. But what about yourself? How's life treating you, my friend? Anyway, I didn't even realize he was on loan from City. Googled him after he pinged about 5 passes, 40 yards, inch perfect. Well, brilliant. Hopefully, that might be what ends up happening up. Hopefully, if he is as good as you end up stating that he is, City will do what they end up doing again and end up selling him. I thought that Gavin Bazuma was going to be a really good goalkeeper until he got fucking sold, and then he became the dribbling shits, much to my chagrin, because as an Irishman, I wanted us to have a good goalkeeper. Someone to compete with Quave Geller, but, what can you do? But hopefully that'll be what ends up happening, because I don't want City to get their goalkeeper from within. I want City to spend a fortune finding a new goalkeeper. Because if the rumour that's going around that the court case is going to end up being in City's favour, I'm worried shitless when they get a new goalkeeper. Congratulations on the wins, Duck. What does that end up leaving you now? Is that Champions League wins? Is that Ireland wins? Is that Shamrock Rovers wins? Which one is that for you? I want to love Anna, but I never could. His inability to deal with a cross is incredible, and his positioning cost us the Champions League semi-final. Yeah, he's atrocious on corners, isn't he? It's astonishing how bad he is at the corners. I've never seen United so fucking frail in corners. It's astonishing, to be honest. It's really annoying. I mean, at this point, it's better recalling him. We have a better medical department, and that's annoying. Good player, but the new Ajax one. Which new one? The home kit or the away kit? Up. Maybe Atletico Pampala can end up drawing or beating Barcelona, because we need Barcelona to drop points at some point. Anyway, every game we have now is a final, because if we don't continue to win, we're going to end up losing the championship to Barcelona, because they're just not stopping. Yale is tired, so we'll put Foston on. Burke needs more game time, so that's fine. So we'll go with Francisco. No, we'll go with Hamilton. Yeah. So this is our back line there. That. Yeah, so I think we're sticking with this squad here. Yeah, so I think we're going with this squad here. We'll leave you on the bench, even though we're not going to use you, because you are injured. How you got injured, I haven't a bloody clue, but we're not going to use you. Yeah, it seems odd that he's so bad at them, and it seems even worse that United brought in goalkeeping coaches and he hasn't seemed to improve. So that's the thing about it. But I don't know. United's coaches don't seem to be doing much anyway. A lot of Ajax fans were pissed off because of being no badge at all. Even a small one placed somewhere. But after they wore it against Alkmaar, opinions changed a lot and people are loving it. From simplicity makes best. Okay, I'm going to need to look at that one. So yeah, I see. And is there an actual reason for the XXX down the center bit of it? I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of it now myself, to be honest. Maybe you're right. Maybe it looks better in action. I'm not a massive fan of it looking at it externally like that, Amanda, to be honest. Anyway, in we go to Vallecano. Let's hope that we end up doing well. Vallecano are down the table a bit. We're still putting out a fairly strong team, so it should be fine to end up seeing how we do. They're in good form, but they're 15th. We're in good form, so we should end up doing well here. We're hoping that Barcelona end up getting a loss or getting some tick put against them here. So let's get a good bit of luck put against us. Let's hope and pray that it all ends up going well. In we go now. We want to build on a good performance. One of our worries about this is we have a lot of games tied straight into each other, so getting through this, hopefully then we'll end up being grand. And that's the Amsterdam coat of arms. Fair enough. Is it easy for foreigners to get tickets to Ajax games? I couldn't answer that. Although it'd be nice to go over and watch a game of it, to be fair. Please give me a Celtic in the draw. Good luck with that one, my friend. Considering what year you're in, I don't know if Celtic will be any good anyway. So let me know how that draw ends up going for you. See Kearney, the Rangers play splashing the Celtic fans. Wow. I didn't hear about that. I know. Ooh, okay, I want to see this goal. Morgan to Foston to Oscar. God, I love Oscar. Oscar to Enric, and Enric with a beautiful goal. Bad goalkeeping, but a beautiful goal by Oscar. I know that specifically for the Celtic Rangers game, there was a lot of talk about making actions such as that by the players, like criminal offenses, because of the fact that the two teams rile each other up so much. So it's interesting to see that that's still allowed to happen. I didn't hear about that now, and I think, to be honest, I don't agree. I don't agree with either side. I agree with banter, but with how vitriolic that rivalry has gotten, to be honest, it's at the point now where I'm kind of the opinion that if the vitriol continues to happen, and I know this is wrong, I know this isn't the way it should be, but I'm of the opinion that if the vitriol continues to happen between those sets of fans, what the Scottish FA should end up doing is have it an automatic loss for both teams. If the fans and the players and the clubs continue to propagate that level of vitriol, what should end up being done, in my opinion, is that both sides are given an automatic loss. Maybe I'm wrong for that, but you have to stop it some way, and everyone is egging into it, and it's becoming an actual problem. Someone is going to get seriously hurt. God damn it, Vinny. Knew we should have changed it. Anyway, someone is going to get seriously hurt at one of those games, and then it's going to affect someone's life, infinitesimally. So something has to be done. That's almost what I would consider doing. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's what I would consider doing. Very easy to go on the general sale, but of course not against the bigger clubs. Yeah. Is there no, this would be a next year thing, it wouldn't be a this year thing. Is there any lower game, Amanda, that you'd recommend someone go to the Ajax Stadium to watch? You know, isn't one of the bigger teams, but it's a game that has a good atmosphere and genuinely ends up bringing a bit of excitement to watch. Because I don't know enough about the Eredivisie to know what game would be that. Just kick out of Scotland so can play in League One of England. Which one would you do, though? Which one would you do? Celtic or Rangers? Which one would you kick out of Scotland? And the other problem is whichever one you kick out, the other one just automatically wins the league. So, it's hard to know. It's hard to know, to be honest, what you'd end up doing in that case. I don't know. It's going well, Irish. It's going well. It's been a good season. Our main competition is Barcelona, who are monsters this season. We have done fairly well. We're playing with a brand new system from the one that we had before. This has been a good season. We have a majority wins this season. We bought a lot of players to do that, though. Oh, Callum Hudson-Odoi is after getting injured. But it's going well at the moment, and it seems to be doing well. Yeah. There was where I accidentally, I wanted it anyway, but I accidentally broke Real Madrid's transfer record by telling the director of football to put an offer in for a player, because I didn't think he'd actually pay the release clause. I thought he'd try to negotiate with them, but he just paid the fucking release clause, and I didn't have any option after that. He just bought the player again. Afterwards, I couldn't stop the transfer or anything. He just went boom and bought the player. Who ironically isn't playing in this game, but but it has actually helped us a good bit because we needed that defender. We've bought a lot of players this season, and we've sold a lot of players this season. So it's funny that way. Oh, Atletico Madrid will be a bad fucking match to end up having against you, by the way. Ooh. I mean, they're 1-0 up. It's very unlikely that Atletico Pamplona will come back. Very, very unlikely they'll come back. But with one man down, let's hope, let's pray that Barcelona end up capitulating and actually end up drawing or losing this game. We can hope. Utrecht or 20. The AZ game was one of the best atmospheres I've ever been to. We made the stadium hell for 90 minutes. Would you get the AZ game, though? That's my question there. Like, would that be considered one of the bigger games where you'd have a problem getting the game? Because Utrecht or FC20, I might actually try to do at some point in time. With the potential playing one or... Okay, I've missed you a bit there, Duck. I got Atletico Madrid in the quarter-final with the potential of playing one or of North London clubs. One or the other of the North London clubs, I guess is what you mean there. Do you support a team in real life? Yes, I am, unfortunately, a sadist and a masochist. Unfortunately, a fool of a fool. Unfortunately, I am a Manchester United fan. Yes, don't worry, I'll take the judgment. I'll let you judge me. But to be fair, it hasn't been too bad the last wee while. We still are in the Europa League. We still have a season. It would be torture the rest of this season if we weren't in the Europa League. It has been disastrous. The club have done a lot of stupid shit. But at the same point in time, we'll see what ends up. That's a very arguable statement, Alan. A very arguable statement at the moment. But I like your gumption. Okay. Well, a question for you as an Arsenal fan, because this is a conversation that has been brought up before on this stream and has been asked. If Arsenal win nothing this season, which it's increasingly looking like they might, considering the only thing they have the chance of winning is the Champions League. If Arsenal win nothing this season, does Arteta get sacked? It's been 8 years. He's won 1 trophy. He seems to be developing, even though he hasn't been given a striker that he's needed for 4 years. Do you think... Oh, that's... Fucking pricks, Barca. Do you think they have to replace him if you get nothing this season? Depending on the time of the season, I guess the run to the end of the season tickets will be like gold dust. I see that. I'm of the opinion I give him 1 more season, but if he doesn't get anything next season, I genuinely be considering it. It's a horrible goal to let in. I mean, there's a lot. The thing is, there are a lot of managers up for grabs this summer. In my opinion, I think there's going to be a lot of chances to get managers this summer. I am of the opinion that Xavi Alonso will probably end up leaving Leverkusen because, to be honest, he screwed his pooch where he is, and he's going to lose his stock even more if he doesn't. There's quite a... Simeone is the one there. There's quite a substantial chance Simeone will end up leaving. And we'll see what ends up happening there. Maybe someone will poke Thomas Frank. There could be a lot of movement this summer. So we'll see what ends up happening. The problem with Simeone... The big problem with Simeone is Simeone's a very, very defensive manager. So... with how Arteta has tried to set you up as an offensive-ish team, Simeone mightn't be the one to end up getting. Ignazi is a good bet, good shout. But we'll see what ends up happening there. You have to keep in mind, I'm of the opinion Tottenham are going to need a new manager this summer as well. I genuinely think he walks. I don't think Chelsea are going to get rid of Enzo Maresca, Alan. I genuinely don't think he's going to get rid of Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca has been doing a good job. He's been showing it fairly well now. I think Enzo Maresca stays at Chelsea, and I'll give you an even bigger one. I think if Chelsea sign a goalkeeper, which they're supposedly looking into, if Chelsea sign a goalkeeper, they will be contenders for the championship next year. That's all they need. Well, they need a striker as well. Nicholas Jackson's developing, but he's not good enough. So if they got both, I think if they got both, I think they win the league. I think next season Chelsea win the league if they get a goalkeeper and a striker. But they're not going to. So, there's no point being delusional about it. They're not going to. They're not going to sign both the goalkeeper and a defender, or a goalkeeper and a striker, because they're fucking idiots. He's not that defensive now. He's not as defensive as Simeone is. I know Simeone's been tweaking his style to be a bit more offensive, but he's not near as Arteta's not near as defensive as Simeone is. But that's what I'm saying. There's going to be a lot of interesting situations to see what ends up happening. No, who's gonna spend the 100 million on him? Who's gonna spend the 100 million on him? Plus, Newcastle have a transfer ban. Who the fuck are they gonna sign in his replacement? You are Look, you might be a fan of them, but you are fucking delusional if you think Sapolsky is going to end up spending 100 million on a striker. Or Conke, sorry, I pronounced it wrong. If you think Stan is going to end up spending 100 million on a striker, you are deluded. Yes, you did it for the best English player at the time in the world. A player that Stan himself loves. Stan himself, like your owner, loves him. Also, why would Newcastle sell him to you? Is the other question. Why would... You have to keep in mind, everyone shouted when Harry Kane left Bayern Munich. Why didn't one of the English clubs come in and purchase Harry Kane? One of the English clubs couldn't come in and purchase Harry Kane. Why the fuck would Tottenham sell him to an English club? It's the same situation here. Why the fuck would Newcastle do it? Why would Newcastle sell him? He might walk out the door in a couple of years, but Newcastle can't win anything. We didn't talk about this one either. Who was the one who turned around and said, you can't say that a game is over until the fat lady sings? Was it Toxic that came in here stating that Liverpool had the Carabao Cup in their hands with no worry of anything happening? Wasn't it me who turned around and said that Liverpool might end up failing and causing Newcastle to get their first trophy in 60 years? Wasn't it I who pointed that out? Newcastle can win. Eddie Howe is not that bad of a manager. Newcastle have just been really unlucky to have a transfer ban and not have anything to do with it. Do not underestimate them. They can end up coming back. They have everything there in order to do it. They just need the freedom to do it. So once the transfer restrictions put against them, we'll see what ends up happening. Newcastle genuinely have a problem, or are a problem. Alan, I think you're getting Victor Osimhen. I think you're getting Victor Osimhen. I think you're getting Victor Osimhen, and I think Chelsea are getting Gyökeres. Yeah, but the other question about it is, you're supposedly meant to be getting Zubimendi as well in the summer. If you're spending 60 million quid on Zubimendi, are you going for a striker at all? Who knows? Who knows with your owners? Who knows genuinely? Not a chance. Liverpool have the league. I mean, they're starting to capitulate now. There's a chance. I turned around and I said at the start of the season that Liverpool will fall away at some point in time. Whether it's get found out, whether it's just fall away. I turned around and they said when they started the season that there's going to be a period of time when Liverpool start to fall down. I thought it would happen in January or February. It happening now in March is unfortunately too late for it to happen, which means that if it is a case that Liverpool are capitulating now and losing a bit of their way, it's too late. It's too late. They pretty much have the league. But that's the other thing too. Well, you're forgetting the elephant in the room there, Doc. You're forgetting the elephant in the room on that league table. I mean, the elephant in the room would require Liverpool to lose every single game and for them to win every single game. So the elephant really can't fit through the door. But Nottingham Forest are there. Oh no, I think the top four is the exact top four we have now. I think the top four is Liverpool, Arsenal, Nottingham, Chelsea. Honestly. Now, whether or not they take fifth place off of City, who knows? But I think the top four is the exact top four we have now. I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. So who is it, you, Duck? Who ends up falling to the wayside? Do you think Nottingham fall out of it? They're on 56 points that have to take some way to end up going down. Yeah, but you're saying Brighton will get top 4, so why? You thinking Arsenal won't? Or not Arsenal? You're thinking that Chelsea won't? Because one of them has to fall. It has to be Chelsea, or it has to be Nottingham. If you think, fucking words, crack. You think Chelsea are going to fall down? I don't. I genuinely don't. I genuinely don't. I genuinely think Chelsea will stay where they are. Maybe. But I genuinely don't. I genuinely don't think so. By the way, what happened with that game? Oh, they won. Ricks won it. Arseholes. Man down and still won the fucking game. Ah! Well, we know Leicester's a win. I'm sorry, Benny, but we pretty much know that West Ham is a win. With Marco Silva, you never know with Fulham. And ironically enough, same thing with bloody Everton. At this point in time, Everton are either turn up to be world beaters or turn up to do nothing. To be honest, we'll see. Yeah, I'm kind of I'm of the same vein there, Duck. Leicester's almost an assurable win. You would assume Palace is almost an assurable win. Who the fuck knows what Spurs is going to do? Brighton is probably going to be a win. West Ham is definitely going to be a win. Fulham, who knows? Everton, who knows? I don't know. But you have to keep in mind, Amanda, an awful lot of their injuries are coming back now. So it also depends incredibly on how stubborn Ange is. Because Spurs should focus solely on the Europa League. The league is same as us. The league is gone for them. It doesn't matter. They can't get a top half finish. The best they could probably get would be 11th in the league. So what do? Honestly, for that game, you play the youth. That's what they should do. It makes a piss take of the Premier League, but who gives a shit at this point? They focus entirely on the Europa League. It does make a piss take of the Premier League, but they should play their youths in that game. Same way as if United get screwed versus one of the big teams, because we have City, we have Arsenal as well, I think. We have a couple of big games coming up as well. To be honest, we should do the same. I know you don't want to slaughter your kids, but you slaughter your kids in order to do well in the Europa League, in my opinion. And I know that's against the spirit of the Premier League, that's against the spirit of, I know you've done shit, but for both of those teams, for United and for Tottenham, the Europa League is their only net. It's their only net. They need it. Both clubs need it. It's the only thing pumping blood into their heart. And I know it's against the spirit, but honestly, they should sacrifice everything to get them. I mean, the thing too, Duck, is any one of them can end up beating them. Like I wouldn't put Leicester out of the running for it. They're shite, but weirder things have happened in this fucking league. For Leicester, like I wouldn't go in to the game with the mentality that you have won. If I was Liverpool, now Liverpool won't, but I wouldn't go into the game with the mentality that I have won, because that mentality will end up costing you. You know, we've seen that already in the league. You can't do that. But it will be interesting to see. I think all of us think that Leicester are going to get ran over by Liverpool. Oh, they should, but you get my point. Knowing Arsenal, they'll probably rest for the Champions League. I mean, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. They should and they shouldn't, but they shouldn't. They really shouldn't. Spurs are not going to get a result, meaning Arsenal could have a chance. There's no way. But you don't know, Amanda. We genuinely don't know. And just such a stubborn asshole that he could go full force in that game, and more than likely will. He'll go into that game gunning for the win. He'll care more about that win than he will against the Europa League one, like an idiot. So you genuinely don't know. Spurs could go into that game versus Liverpool gunning for Liverpool's neck. And probably will go into that game gunning for Liverpool's neck. Because if the problem with sacrificing a game is if you sacrifice a game, you sacrifice consistency. And can you turn it back on when it comes up? Do not be surprised if Tottenham wallop Liverpool. Do not be surprised by it. See, it's such an interesting kettle of fish, and such an interesting set of circumstances that have yet to transpire. It'll be interesting to see how the end of the season comes about. But at this point in time, Liverpool should get their 20th. Liverpool should get their 20th. Like, it is a catastrophic failure. Catastrophic failure by Liverpool if they don't get their 20th. I mean, that's the big thing too. Son has literally been their support beam. If he hasn't been there, they're dead. They're honestly, he's kind of Bruno for us. If Son wasn't there, there's a high chance they'd probably get relegated.
Oh, fuck you, Doc. I've been meaning to opt that for some time, but I wonder what we're going to get. If it's bad enough, by the way, I'm changing it. Of course it'd be a better season than Liverpool. Liverpool haven't won anything. So yeah. By the way, I haven't the timer set up for this yet, so I'm just going to set a timer here on my phone, and in about a minute or two I'm going to get rid of that sound. I will eventually set up a timer for this. Oh, the random voice. Although to be fair, it's not the worst one. We've had worse than this. This isn't the worst voice that the random voice moderator has ended up picking for me. I mean, winning the Champions League better over the league. No. No, I don't think so. I think if Arsenal won the Champions League, I think Liverpool stood in a better season because they got to a final as well. I mean, you're still in the FA Cup, aren't you? Or are you kicked out of the FA Cup? Yeah, you're out of the FA Cup as well, so no, I honestly think it's still Liverpool's.
Yeah, back to normal now. In my opinion, but in what way, Amanda, watch this space with Arnold Slot? In what way do you mean that, if you don't mind me asking? I am of a similar opinion that it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening. I don't think Arnold has been hit with his major challenge yet. as I said, he hasn't really signed anyone. He's just been really lucky that Klopp left him with a goal mine. And as I said, pretty much all of Klopp's negotiating team and scouting team and networking team left with him. So can Liverpool find the players that will fit the system as effectively as they did with Klopp? And even he had his faults. You know, he had 1 or 2 bad seasons as well. Does Slot know entirely what he's going to end up needing? Can they get the players that they end up needing? We're going to need to see. Well, the league is harder to do than the Champions League. I know there's more games in the Champions League now, but the league is harder to do than the Champions League. Anyway, let's start with this game and see how we do. He's saying sorry because in the middle of his statement he called you Ian instead of Alan. I bet you to it, Duck, huh? I can think faster than you can, Duck. Screw you! Of course, you have to type it too, whereas I can speak it, but, you know, eh. Yeah, by the way, yes, Alan, by the way, I am that petty. I am that petty to make a point of it. I genuinely don't think so. I think it's going to be Barcelona. Something about Barcelona. I think it's going to be Barcelona. What was that free kick, by the way? Oscar directly at Suzuki. Jesus Christ. I have a bad feeling about this game. We'll see how this ends up going. I have a bad feeling about this game. I don't know. I'll have a look in a minute. Let's see. Champions League fixtures. So you have Leon. Oh. Yeah. You have. Oh no, that's the women's. Why does it show me the women's? So, Aston Villa are in it. Barcelona are in it. Bayern Munich are in it. PSG, Inter Milan, Aston Villa, Borussia Dortmund, Arsenal, and Real Madrid. I still think it's going to be Barcelona. I mean, PSG looked good, to be fair to them. PSG looked good. And that's the other reason why I think it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening this summer. Because, again, you have to think maybe if PSG don't manage, even though why would they do this? He's one of the best managers in the world. But if PSG don't manage to win the Champions League, do they sack Luis Enrique, considering that's literally the only reason they're hiring a fucking manager at the moment anyway, is to do that goddamn feat that no one has been able to do, even when they had the best forward lineup in the world. I think they'd be insane to do so, but like, you don't know at that fucking club. What the fuck, Henrik? Oh, well, never mind. It worked out. That's hilarious. I mean, complete luck, but like... Oh, you are a gentleman and a scholar. Oh, thank you, Senior Duck. This has been a really bad performance by us, by the way. I thought I had a timeout on Hydrate. I'm going to need to change that. Thank you for letting me know, Duck. I always learn new shit when you're in the chat, Duck. It's just phenomenal, to be honest. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening. Dembele has been performing over his means. Like I think it's been stated that like since January he's scored something like 20 goals. Like he's been in unreal form since signing for PSG. And in general this season he's been unreal. Like it was a good poke from PSG to get him. And I know an awful lot of people thought that it mightn't be, that they were wasting an incredible amount of money on a player that might be, you know, dusted. But, like, it's funny how that can end up working, how sometimes it's the right move to spend the extra bit of money on something like that. God, Warren is performing so fucking good this season since we bought him. I know we spent 100 million on him and you'd expect him to be good, but god damn has he been good. Gale. I mean, Gale's been performing grand since he came back from his injury, but the way he started off his career in that first game, you'd be hoping for more off of him, unfortunately. Like, himself, Foston, and Edmund again with an unfortunate injury causing him not to be able to get as much game time as he should. It's slightly unfortunate, to be honest. But at the end of the day, I cannot complain. We're going to end up getting a 4-0 or 4x win out of this one, or even more than 4, depending on how good we end up doing in these last few bits. So I can't complain about it, thankfully. Excuse me. And yet we're still going to braid them. Because I'm nothing if not an asshole. I've learnt by now that my words are just consistent beration. Oscar! Oh, God, that youth. I have so many good youths in the squad. It's unbelievable. Oscar has been a revolution for this squad, to be honest. We were thinking about getting another AP or CAM in that position, but Oscar's just been performing well over the means of which he should be performing at the moment. 14 goals this season is astonishing for him. He's been exceptional. Like, I don't know why some of his stats are going down, but he has been exceptional this season. And it's beautiful to see. Genuinely beautiful to see. was going to say, did Barca draw? No. It's unfortunate. At the moment, it's looking like our game versus Barcelona will be the decider for the league. We drew the last time we faced them. We need to win the next time we face them. It will be what decides the league. Barcelona, the defending champions of the league. Thankfully, we get a freebie in the next game versus Atletico Bilbao due to the 5 goal aggregate we have. Okay. So we are about 30 seconds away from an advertisement. So I am just going to quickly go for a little break. We probably have about a half an hour left of the stream, maybe. And then I'm probably going to call it quits for the night. But I'm not going just yet. So bear with me now. And I will be back in just a jiffy. So chat you then.
Music is powerful, man. It speaks to a primal pit in our brains. It makes anyone want to get up and get their knees going. Gotta get them pumping, pumping, pumping. Boom, 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 boom.
You know, Doc, I like the statement. I pre-ordered game, but it might be good to maybe give a tiny bit more than that to actually let me know what game you pre-ordered, because I'm not 100% sure what game you actually bothered to pre-order. I'm going to wait for the follow to let me know before I do anything. Swaddy, my friend, thank you so much for the follow. How is life treating you? It is a pleasure to have you come in. Any news with you? How is your Wednesday treating you? I am doing well. Happy to be here, happy to be streaming, and happy to have you. How is all going with yourself? In the middle of our Real Madrid save, currently on a fantastic bit of form. This has been our season. thus far. Primarily wins, 1 or 2 losses, couple of draws. But would you believe Barcelona are still ahead of us? Because of course they fucking are. They're monsters. We have 2 draws and 1 loss. They have 3 draws. And there's nothing we can do about it. They're just monsters. But we're going all in all sound as a bell. We're going into the next game now, see how things are going, and just enjoying how life is treating us. But yourself, Swaddy, how is all treating you? Did you get up too much over this St. Patrick's Day weekend period? Has there been any updates or any news with you, yourself? Going well. Sit at halftime in my UCL match right now, winning 6-0, so can't complain. Brilliant. And give us a little bit more information, Swaddy. Give us a little bit more information. Who are you with? Who are you going against? What round of the Champions League is it that you are within? Is it FM24 that you are doing this within? Because we have other members here, mainly the infamous Doc, who play other versions of FM and end up giving us some updates as to how life is going in their saves. So if you want to, let us know how those are going for. And furthermore, just for yourself, considering you seem to be an FM fan, I think, you can join the Discord up there at the top pinned comment there. Go to Get Rules and click on the FM button, which is the sports button. By doing so, it will open up the FM tab for you. I need to improve on the interactivity of the FM, but we've talked about that for a bit, so, or not the FM of the Discord, but yeah, that's Future Crack's problem. Guys, one has appeared. A freak of nature has joined the chat. We have someone who has willfully chosen to manage Tottenham. I'm joking. Anyway, Swaddy, are you a Tottenham fan yourself, or what made you pick Tottenham? What made you pick the mighty Spurs? It's a common bit of a joke here on this one that we don't ever want to see Tottenham win anything. It's a common little joke. With that being said, in this particular save, they were the runners-up to the Champions League in 2019. They won the Super Cup, the UEFA Super Cup in 2030. Oh no, they were runners-up. They won the Europa League in 2031, so at least you have something there. And they won the Carabao Cup in 2031. And the Community Shield in 27 and 28. So there you go, my friend. There we go. Hey, Swaddy, if it makes you feel any better, I am also a masochist. I am also a sadist. I am a Manchester United fan. If that makes you feel any better, my friend, I feel your pain. Although, as a Tottenham fan, it's actually great to have a Tottenham fan here to ask this question, because it's something that we've commented on a few times here. Do you think Ange Postecoglou will be your manager by the end of the season? Like, when pre-season starts next season, will he be your manager? I'm genuinely curious what a Tottenham fan has to say about that. And then I'll regurgitate the same shite that I say every time I end up bringing up this topic. Are you not happy that Feyenoord are losing in this metaphorical sense, Amanda? Because as an Ajax fan, do you not just feel happy seeing Feyenoord lose? Does that not just bring a bubbly feel into the bottom cockles of your stomach? Oh, Jesus, no. Oh, Jesus, no. They're doing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer again. This time with Michael Carrick from motherfucking Burnley. No, Jesus, no. From the cockroach to Michael Carrick. Oh no. Oh fuck no. They're fucking 12th. Oh, damn it. Oh. Like in this, by the way, just for yourself, Shwadi, you had Ange for an insane period of time until he left the role, and then you got Scalini, who's actually done an okay job, Witchy. I have the unpopular situation that I, before Mauricio Pochettino came in, was the manager of Liverpool, where in my term, I ended up making them the Premier League and Champions League winners in the same season. The same season that I won with Portugal. Yeah, I'm the one that matched the Premier League quota as a United fan. I swear every Irishman I've ever met has been a Tottenham, Manchester United, or Liverpool fan. Well, yeah, well, there's a big reason for that. An incredible amount of the people during the industrial age went from Ireland over to Liverpool, and that's the reason why that ended up coming in. And Manchester United were just so popular over the 90s, and an incredible amount of England ended up moving over to Ireland during the 90s as well, that it ended up causing an influx of United fans to end up coming there as well. So there is a massive reason for that. It's the same thing as typically the Irish. It's either... it's weird that you say Tottenham. It's not as popular as you might think, Swaddy, over here. But it's an insane amount of people that are Manchester United, Liverpool, and Celtic fans. Yeah. At least they made it realistic having Carrick as the manager. I mean, yeah. It's better than Tony Mulberry, anyway. It's better than the cockroach. I mean, look, this game can be a bit weird, as we've noted. As we've noticed, this game can be a bit weird. I'm not going to comment as to why this game can be weird, but I'll let you come up to your own assertions of that one. But this game can be a tiny bit weird. I'm half Irish myself, and all sides of my family are Tottenham fans. Wow, okay. Well, fair play to them. Hey, to each their own. Although you didn't answer my question. So I'll ask it again because I am genuinely curious. Do you think Ange will be your manager at the end of the season? And if you don't want to answer, don't. But just in case you missed my question the last time. Because I am genuinely curious what an actual fan thinks. Oh, did you? Oh, I think he will be our manager till the end of the 2026 World Cup. I don't, to be honest. I think either he'll be sacked at the end of the season or he'll resign at the end of the season. I don't see him going another season, would you? I think the bridge might have been a bit too burned. Because he's been whinging. He was whinging quite a significant amount about the culture in the club. So I honestly don't. I honestly think he'll probably be gone at the end of the season myself. Not to hampen the parade or hampen how you feel about it, but it's just my opinion there, to be honest. Ange needs to be sacked. Don't blame injuries. Look at United from 2025. No seatbelts. I mean, never mind 2025. Look at the year before that with Ten Hag. Same thing. But, like, I mean, he just has a level of stubbornness in him. And as I've stated before, I think his big fall wasn't even the fact of the injuries that ended up coming against him. You could understand the pain of having the injuries come against you. I think he shot himself in the foot the microsecond the dopey bastard turned around and said, "I always win a trophy in my second season." I think that's the nail that hung him. The minute that he said that, I think that's the nail that hung him. I mean, then being stubborn, to be fair, Amarin's doing it as well, but to be so stubborn not to change your formation multiple occasions, especially when you go 2 men down, when you go down to 9 men, like, fair play for the gumption, but it's an incredible way to get yourself sacked. Well, no, sorry, incredible is not the word. A retarded way to get yourself sacked. Oh my god, the Gwidja. Thank you so much for the follow or for the raid. I appreciate it beyond belief. I am doing fantastic. You, my friend, how is life treating you? How was the stream? Did it all go well for you today? I am here just continuing with this stream here, hoping that it all goes well, having some conversations with some newbies and some oldies that are in the chat. How did it all end up going with yourself? And give us as much information as you can if you're not just on the rush out the door there, my friend. I mean, you have to give a bit of a nuance to that one, Skull. I understand it, but it was a situation of that loss basically saved Arsenal from winning the league. And I don't know Tottenham's relationship with Arsenal, so I can understand the satisfying nature of it, but I do agree with Ange's opinion of you should never, ever want to lose a match like that. It's kind of why where I'm saying both Tottenham and United should sacrifice the league for the Europa League, but you never want to do it, which is the reason why I think he's not going to do it, and Ange will go full force versus Liverpool when that match happens. Stream was grand, starting a new save with Quinnan AFC in the 5th step of non-league football. Oh, nice. And how are you finding that? Because that's deep. That's deep down in the stream. As I've stated sometimes in your stream as well, Gwidja, I've never actually done a save that low down. The lowest I've ever done was a save of similar to Duck, an Irish squad team, which would be the equivalent of national Viorama level in some cases. Anyways, time to go into this game. We have a 5-0 goal advantage in this one, so we shouldn't be too bad going into it. So we've gone with a bit of experiment in this, so we'll see how all ends up going. Very weak back line, but it should be sound. So let's go in and see how we do. Yeah, so lose and then don't get Champions League. The fact you should never support another team when playing against them, and that's why. Oh yeah, no, I agree with you. But that's what I'm saying. But at the same point in time, I don't know the rivalry state of affairs, because, like, you as a United fan, I would be of the opinion that if United had the chance to sabotage Liverpool in order to stop them from getting their 20, I could understand why some fans would want United to sabotage a game in order to stop them from doing it. At the same point in time, I can't, because you never do it. So I 100% agree with the mentality and why Ange was so pissed off about that. But I can understand why the fans would want it. Because, like, it didn't matter to their season. They were just stopping another team's season, which is not the spirit of the game, which is the problem of it. But, like, when you're talking about records and you're talking about rivals, it's who gives a shit about the spirit. Adam, your first game back since your injury, and you're just after scoring. Not too bad. Oh, happy out. Oh, that's awesome that you're able to do it with that. That you're able to do it with a local team like that, Gwidja. Oh, that's actually legitimately awesome to end up seeing. I'll have to keep an eye for when your next stream goes live and have a gawk at it, because that genuinely is heartwarming to end up hearing that you're doing it. And how did it end up going with you? In that particular tier, is it a 12-team league? Are you dealing with amateurs? Do you have any contracted players to your team at all? By the way, a 16-year-old just after scoring his first goal. Booyah! But yeah, let me know, because that's incredibly interesting. It's rather the best team actually win, indeed. Yeah, that's. I agree with you, Skull. That's what I'm saying there. That's why I think he will go out with the strongest team against Liverpool this time, even though it would benefit him not to in the Europa League. You know, that's the way I'm looking at that. You know, Skull. That's where this conversation ended up starting up, because I think in the likes of that Liverpool game, if the Europa League was the next week, I'd sacrifice the Liverpool game for the Europa League. But I don't think Ange would even consider it, and he's probably right not to. Traction, my friend, it is a pleasure to have you back in the chat. How did your Paddy's weekend end up going? How did life end up treating you? Is your Wednesday treating you well? I'm doing fantastic. All the better for having the likes of you here. I love having a good old people here. Love having the conversation. Doing a good old save. We haven't lost yet this stream. Might have jinxed myself. Not for this game, but probably for the next one. But screw it. We'll give it the old college try and see how we do. I've got to hold Old G, the club, to let them know when they got right behind me. They put myself and the family of the guest list for the home game this weekend, where they could possibly win the league. Nice! That's awesome. Awesome. Oh, I'll have to get into. I'll have to end up hearing about that anyway. That's awesome. It could be that, Skull. It could also be the fact that they don't want to waste the nigh on 10 million quid it would cost to sack him this season. Considering the season is already gone, you're as well keep him as long as you can in order to, you know, bow down the price so that you're not spending the same amount of money, because it would still count as this season being on his contract, so he'd still end up having more money. And considering the season is practically dead, there's no real point to get rid of him, you know? So maybe it's that. But who knows? Who knows? Glad it's all well with you, mate. I'm not too bad. Quiet few days. It's a bonus. Brilliant. 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 It's always nice when people end up having a good old time and, you know, enjoying life and enjoying the crack and seeing how things end up going. Duck has been doing his Ireland save again and has been dominating the domestic league, and an unfortunate circumstance of where the game screwed him 10 ways to Sunday in the actual international phase, where for some reason in the international phase it ended up saving things. Crack, get your words together. Stop being a twat. It ended up putting the league position. He had 3 teams on 19 points, and it positioned the teams based on alphabetical order and not on goal difference. So he got screwed. Ten Hag wanted me to still manage in the Premier League. Could see him at Tottenham and feel if he does go there, he wins something. I think Ten Hag's next position is Borussia Dortmund. That's what I think. I think he's going to Borussia Dortmund. I know they haven't sacked their manager yet, but I think he's going to Borussia Dortmund. And maybe that's me being a fool, but I think that's where he's going. But again, as I said, I suspect that this summer there's going to be a lot of managerial movements. I think if Real Madrid win the Champions League, it wouldn't shock me if Carlo Ancelotti retired. And if Carlo Ancelotti retires this season, ideally Nagelsmann would want him to wait one more season. But I think Nagelsmann would take the Real Madrid job. I know some people think that that's what Xavi Alonso is waiting for, but I don't think so. I think it's Nagelsmann that's taking that position. So it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening there. I mean, he's not on the United payroll anymore. United needed to outright pay him the 14 million. So like he's not on. Like United just outright boom paid him in one go the 14 million to execute the rest of the contract. So he's not on the United payroll at all, Skull. So it actually makes no benefit to him to actually stay for United. I'm defending the Euro winners too, so I'm missing out on qualification via the playoffs. I'm resigning from Ireland. No. Oh. Stuff ball. Yeah. So up and down days at the moment. We keep plodding the best we can. That's. By the way, well on you for continuing on, Traction. It's awesome to end up, you do need to just keep going and keep looking up and enjoying things as things end up going on. Do you think Bayern are going to get rid of Company? I don't know. They're going, fuck off, Nico. Anyway, I joke about Harry Kane not getting any trophies, but there's no real point joking about it because Bayern Munich are they're 6 points ahead at the moment on Leverkusen, and yes, Leverkusen have started coming back into the league. Their form hasn't been the worst. But there's no way Leverkusen are catching Bayern. Bayern are just going to win it. And I think maybe that's enough to keep Company, considering he seems to be loved there. So, I don't know. He might not end up winning the Europa League. In fact, I'd almost guarantee he wouldn't. But, I don't know. We'll end up seeing. It's hard to know. Why the fuck are they drawing in the cup? Why can't they draw in the league? Arseholes. Anyway, it's hard to know what will end up happening with Bayern. It would be on point for Bayern Munich to nick the next best manager out of Germany, considering they nick everything else off of Germany. It would be on point for Bayern to go to Leverkusen and rob their manager. You'd kind of hope that... Oh, you're saying Xavi, not Xavi. Sorry, you're saying Xavi as in the former Barcelona manager, right? Duck? Or am I getting that mixed up? Am I getting Xavi and Xavi mixed up? Am I getting Xavi and Xavi Alonso mixed up there? Do you mean Xavi as in the former Barcelona manager and Barcelona legend, or do you mean Xavi Alonso? Alonso, yeah, okay. No, you'd hope that Alonso... No, he doesn't. But you'd hope that Alonso would have the gumption to turn around and say fuck no to Bayern Munich, just out of the sheer showcase that Bayern continue to nick everything out of fucking Germany. But who knows? Really hoping to get a stream in later. This always. Oh, trust me, I know well, Traction. I absolutely adore doing this. So I can understand why you'd end up getting antsy and getting the love and the need in order to do it. Because it is... If you get a community, thankfully yourself, Gwija, Benny, and a smattering of others have allowed me to end up getting, via consistent raids and the luck of some people finding the channel, I love it. And I can 100% understand why you would as well. So if you do end up getting on, I'll try my best to end up seeing it. And if in the meantime you ever need to talk or ever need just a bit of fun traction, come right in. Come right into this one. Always up for the chat. Always up for the discussion. Always a pleasure to end up having you. I think Barca did do Xavi dirty, but at the same point in time, he wasn't performing good enough for the squad that Barcelona have. You have no excuse for... He's like... They'd lost their fear, in my opinion. Maybe that's being too mean to them, but I think they had lost their fear with Xavi. You know? So maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think... Yeah, it's probably more that. It's probably more that. It's probably more that he mentioned that, you know, they're shite. And that things are bad. Anyway, let's see who everyone gets seeded with. RB Leipzig. Who are we going to bet? Who are we going to bet that RB Leipzig ends up getting? RB Leipzig in the unseeded teams is probably one of the easier teams that you can end up getting. Nice probably being the easiest team. If I was a betting man based on these seeded teams, City is probably going to get Leipzig. Oh no, we did. So after that, I don't give a shit. Nice. Who did City get? City got Inter. Ooh. Oh, Barca got Tottenham. That's an interesting kettle of fish. Gonna be interesting to see how that one goes. Bayern versus the German clubs. Oh yeah. It's kind of like United doing the fucking De Gea shtick. Like it is similar thing, only with a manager. He's not with anyone at the moment, is he? No, he's currently not managing anyone. So I wonder who he'll get next. Jesus, he's 45. God, that makes me feel old. Bellingham, you're still fucking injured. Leipzig are massive on my Ireland save. Nice. That's nice to see a team like Leipzig doing well. I did say that I was probably only going to last a half an hour, but Gwidge is after rating us, so I think I'll give us another half an hour out of fairness to Dave giving us the nice old save, or the nice old raid there. So I'll go another... I shall go another 15 minutes, if anything. 15 to 20 minutes, maybe even a half an hour, depending on how things end up going. But we'll go a wee bit longer anyway, due to the people that ended up coming in. And if anyone from the Gwidges raid wants to end up talking, feel free to end up talking. This is an open area. I'm saying all this while the fucking advertisements are going, because I'm an intelligent fucker. I'm a really intelligent person. I have the big-ass flash me signs telling me the advertisement is going. I put it on the screen for all of you, too. Dipshit continues to talk to people that might have advertisements. Yeah. Incredibly smart. No. Do you want to know where I think he'd be more likely to go, Skull? If you can hear me. I think... I think Diego Simeone could be on the move. Okay, Diego Simeone. Oh no, I know you can hear me because subs don't get it. I'm just talking. Like what I was saying was for everyone that ended up coming in through glitches. So you know. Oh yeah, fucking. Anyway, I think Diego Simeone could be on the move this summer. With that being said, he's also the highest paid manager in the world, so why would he? Well, he's the highest paid manager not in Saudi in the world. I think the statement is that Diego Simeone is on something like 500,000 quid a week. Like Diego Simeone's on a bonkers bonkers contract. But with that being said, I could probably see him potentially moving, and that mightn't be a bad spot for him if he went there. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's a weird one because like he is supposedly the highest paid manager in the world, and there's been rumors that loads of people have been thinking about taking him for a long time. But Atletico are supposedly paying him a fucking fortune for what I believe is a mediocre job, but supposedly paying him an absolute fortune. So why would he leave? But it wouldn't shock me if he left. Now, he's not going to get paid anywhere near the amount of money that he's getting paid there. But if he did leave, would that be something for Xavi? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, Zaragoza. Zaragoza are one of the teams that managed to shock the world and draw with Barca, I believe. Yes. In fact, they were the first team that managed to do it. So we have to be careful with them, even though they are shite. And I'm guessing this is our game in hand. So we can't go too light against them, even though we will be going light against them. So let's see how we do. I think we go with this. It is a weaker backline, but it has potential in it. And we have the stronger boys on the bench. Burke is there. Turak is there. Stellar is on the pitch, so we have one of our good guys there. Always thought he was perfect for Chelsea in the glory days. Oh, I don't know. I think Simeone is heavily overrated. Would Xavi go somewhere else but Barca and Spain, though? I mean, why wouldn't he? At this point, why wouldn't he? Managers don't really have that much loyalty, but we'll see. Well, it begs the question of how everyone else in La Liga is so fucking poor. Because supposedly, other than Atletico, Real, and Barca, there's a common trend, and I don't know how true this is, that any of the other La Liga teams struggle to make a transfer over 20 million quid net. So it's weird. Yes, he would have been perfect in that particular case. You're right. You're right in that case. He would have been perfect for that. That, and I'm a bit of a naysayer. I just really don't like him. I am a bit of a troll. I just really don't like him. Yeah, I think we go with this squad and see how we end up doing here. But I will say, I'm somewhat happy for Enzo Maresca with Chelsea at the moment. I don't want to see Chelsea do well, but I'm somewhat happy for Enzo Maresca and what's going on with him at the moment. And I will continue to state this, and I will do it every time I bring up Chelsea. I think with a goalkeeper and a striker, they are going to contend, if not win the league next year. If they get it. Simeone or Mourinho? Because Mourinho, you're damn right, he does find a way to end up making you laugh all the time. Also, I forgot that these guys had Fernando Torres as their manager. I forgot that it was Fernando Torres as their manager. I don't care about whooping his ass 10 ways a Sunday. I wonder if Mourinho will, at some point in time, go back to the Premier League and take a lesser down the table side. I wonder if he has the... I wonder if he would think that would be too much of a decrease. And I wonder if he has the willingness to prove the Premier League wrong after Tottenham. Nice. Wehe scores. Beautiful. I hope Ake Aten's boss gets a better job. I don't know him. I know someone who is supposedly very well liked and could be on the move is Sebastian Svoyer. Is that how you pronounce him? No. Oh, Hobe. I can't pronounce him for shite. He's the manager of Stuttgart. This fool. He's meant to be in high contention and might be on the move this summer as well. I know some people wanted either him or Amarin to be the United choice. So I wonder if he might be on the move this summer as well. Yeah. That's why I'm wondering whether or not he might be one of the ones that end up yeah, I don't know. I think he is too much of a heat magnet, and to be fair, the problem with that is he had won 2 European back-to-back European trophies with them. But, and this is the really funny thing about the assignment that he was given. By the way, we're after getting a second penalty. This is really the really funny thing about the assignment that he was given. Oh no, he didn't win back-to-back. He did win back-to-back, didn't he? He won the Conference League and then won the Europa League, right? Or did he win the Conference League and then lost in the final? Okay, yeah, he lost to Rangers. No, who did he lose to? Anyway, it doesn't matter. He got them to the final in both cases. But the problem is his assignment was to improve them in the league. And each season in the league, he had gotten, what was it? 6th, 5th, and 6th. And that's why they sacked him. To my knowledge, it was something like that. It was because of the league performances that they sacked him. He wasn't improving the performances in the league, and that was the assignment that he was given. Also, since the red card, Cora has been performing a lot better. And if he performs decent as a Libero, we'll convert him to a Libero. Although, to be fair, we're against the 3rd worst team in the league, so... eh. Oh, why is Aaron's playing in a league game and he's not meant to be? That's a mistake and a half. Wahez just after getting a fucking hat-trick. Oh, he's been disallowed his hat-trick. So, considering Thomas Tuchel seems to have no want or gumption to fix his relationship with Victor Osimhen. By the way, there's Wahe's. He's not going to get it denied again, is he? Wahe, you poor bastard. Anyway, considering Thomas Tuchel has no will, want, or inclination to repair things with Victor Osimhen, do you think Victor will go for a cheap price this summer? Do you think they'll just want to get him out the door? Like, oh wait, Wahe has a... Oh, okay, Wahe scored the first goal, so he has his hat-trick. Never mind, I'm an idiot. Jesus Christ. Just out of principle, I'm not letting Wahe take the penalty. Just out of principle. Holy crap. Yeah, Conte. Yeah, Conte. Didn't I say that right? Who did I say? Yeah, Antonio Conte is the manager of Napoli. He had a massive disagreement with Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen is now at Galatasaray. And as a result of which, he's probably going to be for sale. This, oh, you wanted me to put the goalkeeper. You were too late, Duck. Here's my thing, Duck. If we get one more penalty, since we've been given fucking 3, if we get one more penalty, I'll put the goalkeeper as the option. You just said it too late. Yeah, no, my apologies. I meant Conte. I meant Conte, not Tuchel. Although for some reason I equate the two together. Is clubs can say we are going to give you this or we get him for free the following year. Yeah, I suppose. Which begs the question, do you think there's any chance Madrid are doing that? Because would there be a chance that he goes on loan again for another season and then Madrid just picks him up for free? I know they don't need him, but it wouldn't shock me. Hamilton! God, we have 2 centre-backs scoring in this game. Both from free kicks. I'm too lazy to check it up, but I'd be genuinely curious what Madrid's wage bill is at the moment. That fucking deal. That deal alone should have been enough for the Glazers to sack Ed Woodward and fucking murder. That deal alone, like, Mount is a good player, and I actually think, funnily enough, in the Amarin system, Mount is the type of profile of player. What a goal! What a goal! I actually think in Amarin's system, Mount is the type of player that's needed in that cam position. If he plays as good as he did, during the 2-year period where he was Chelsea's Player of the Year, and the year that he became the Champions League finalist, if he played like that again, I actually think he's the perfect player for Amarin's system. Now, can our fitness club keep him fit? If they do, I genuinely, and maybe this is me smoking the copium, I genuinely think if we can keep him fit, he still could be an okay option for us. And maybe that's me heavily smoking the copium. In fact, it's almost definitely me heavily smoking the copium. But I'll fucking smoke the copium all day long. I genuinely think if we can keep him fit, if we can get him fit, I genuinely think Mount will be a good addition to Amarin's system. Now, supposedly he's getting fit now again and might be available before the end of the season, which would be beautiful. And it'll give us a proper show, hopefully, a proper showcase of what he can end up doing. And whether or not I'm right or wrong. But we'll see. And that's kind of my thing. I would... oh, Jesus, we're getting the penalty. Yeah, we're getting the penalty. Okay. Did I leave enough time? He's taking a penalty! He scored the fucking penalty! That's for you, Duck. That's for you. His first league goal. He has more goals than Jason O'Connor does. He's... Oh. Why the... That'll tell you how shit Zagros have been. We've had 4 penalties. I mean, we scored all 4 of them too. But like... 4 penalties. I hope you clip that one, Duck. Oh, and accidentally played as well. Aaron must be he must be chuffed. He wasn't even meant to be playing today. He wasn't even meant to be playing today, and he got a motherfucking goal. I would have loved it. The game gave the man of the match to the goalkeeper. God, I can only imagine the bonuses that they have on the likes of Mbappe. I can only imagine it. So we've managed to get to the point that we're 2 goals in terms of the goal difference off of Barcelona. But that won't matter because I don't think Barcelona are going to falter. And as a result, it will come down to the second last game of the season. I think it's the second last game of the season. Yes, it'll come down to the second last game of the season as to whether or not we win the league. If we don't lose before then, because we have Atletico Madrid to do again. So we'll see. But we'll see. Can Barca falter here? Can they falter? I would like to see what Mbappe got for joining after refusing 15% ownership. Was that rat? You useless bastards, Mallorca! You get an equalizer, and then a minute later you let them. Oh. Yeah, I mean it's got to be a lot. It's got to be, unless he just wanted the Real Madrid thing, because like he was a Real Madrid fan for most of his life, so maybe it is a situation that he just wanted the Real Madrid thing. But like, maybe he did sacrifice the money for Real Madrid, but I don't suspect that he sacrificed any money to go to Real Madrid, to be honest. Okay. God, Gale, you're so fucking injury prone. God damn it, man. Must be 4th or 5th injury this season. I know they're only 1-2 day injuries, but like, he did have a long injury as well. But like, a draw? Really? A draw when at home? Oh no, we're not at home. Okay, fair enough. Madrid did offer 200 million to buy him from PSG. Wonder did... Don't know. We'll never know either, because all that information is redacted and hidden from everyone that would end up having a chance in order to see it, unfortunately. So we'll never actually know the ins and outs of that deal. Is that confirmed, or is that just speculation that they gave him €150 million signing bonus? Because if that's confirmed, that would have to make him one of the most well-paid players of all time. It simply would have to. He'd have to be one of the world's most well-paid players of all time. Considering he got a hat-trick, I'm half tempted to let Wahia stay on, but I'm not going to. We're going to go with Ard Gullard there, Oscar there, and this will be the team we go with, because Aaron has definitely earned the right to continue to perform in these competitions. But with that being said, that's me. That's me. We will come back to this the next time we end up coming down with our first game against RB Leipzig in the round of 16 of the Champions League. And we'll see how we end up doing. RB shouldn't be... Okay. I was going to say RB shouldn't be that big of an issue. But that could cause some sticky wickets. I forgot they had gotten clawed as well. Anywho, next time we face Pep again, and we see how we end up doing against one of our old nemesis. It was a pleasure to have all of you. I intend to stream again tomorrow. It might be a little bit later of a start time than it was today, but the intention is to stream again tomorrow. 8:30 to 9:30 is the rough of GMIT Dublin time. Is the rough period that I am going to be streaming. I have not yet confirmed whether or not it'll be FM. It'll more than likely be FM, but I haven't confirmed that yet. But with that being said, it was an absolute pleasure to have all of you. Oh, I fucking wish, Skull. I wish. Unfortunately, I have work on Friday. So, if I was to do a 24-hour stream, it would be a Friday night into a Saturday night. And who knows, maybe we can set up something to end up leaving something like that later on, but it ain't going to be tomorrow, my friend. Much to my chagrin. Unfortunately, on Friday, I have an event on, so I won't be streaming on Friday, but I will be on Saturday. I have a personal event that I have to go to, so I won't be streaming on Friday, but I will be on Saturday. So, and depending on how things go, I'll probably be streaming early on Saturday as well and doing a fairly long stream. Need to get some work in and bits and bobs and But with all that being said, it was a pleasure today, and I'm going to end up finding someone to raid. Hopefully there's someone actually on that I know. I mean, he came in earlier on, and we did give him a raid in the last 30 days, but screw it. We'll go to enter AI and give him a raid again, considering he came in earlier on. So, it was a pleasure to end up having you guys, and thank you so much for coming into the stream. And anytime I'm on, please come in, please say hello. I love talking to each and every one of you. It was an absolute pleasure to be on with you today. And until the next time, my friends, make sure your crack is 90 and slán go fóill.